or call us to talk business. Great business starts with yes. T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
We've been hearing the traditional tough talk all off-season.
Put on some size, doing really well.
Yeah, he's electrifying.
And it's nearly time to put up or shut up.
Welcome to the big league, young man! Set right on his ass!
But first, it's the traditional pre-season hit-out.
Sharp start.
With traditional big moments.
What a grab!
This is the AAMI Community Series for Ream Hot Water and McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy.
On a muggy night at Metricon Stadium, the last in this round of AAMI Community Series matches, it's the Gold Coast Suns against the Cats. Home game here for the Suns, and then they've got a tough month. They start with the Eagles away, and of course the Cats, Chris Scott signing a new deal in the off-season, but a big year for them, changing up their assistant coaches. They have got a seasoned squad with a sprinkling of youngsters here tonight. Let's welcome the team. Introducing, played 183 games, snuck forward, occasionally played forward for 80 goals. It's great to have him back. The champ is here. Welcome, Richard Champion.
Good evening, everybody. Look, great that footy's back again for season 2022. Second look at the, both teams actually for this year. I was a bit dubious about the Suns, and when Ben King went down, I thought, I don't know who's going to kick their goals, but we've got Levi Casbolt, of course, we've got Big Marby Achol. I see him out there leading out from full forward at the moment, so I'm actually quite excited. And the squad that they've put out tonight will just about match with anyone, so I'm very excited to see more so how the Suns will fare this year. They finished 16th last year, where they win 6 games. Not so bad, but they've got some good players back again this year. Jared Witts, most importantly, they led the clearances 2 years ago when Witts was dominating in the ruck. So looking forward to him being back. And Roy Thompson as well will just solidify up their back line a little bit with another tool there. And they'll need to tonight as well, because they've got Cameron Hawkins and Radigalia down there for the Catters. So looking forward to both teams having a clash tonight.
Yeah, big Jeremy Cameron's had a full pre-season. He's strengthened his hammies, and it's a scary thought to think what he and Hawkins can do in their second season. Host of the Rush Hour, all the way from the Gold Coast studios, it is Liam Flanagan. How are you, Flanagan?
I'm very well, thanks, Tomo. Good evening, champs. I'm excited about this game tonight because for everything that Joel Selwood has achieved in the game, and there isn't much that he hasn't achieved, if you follow Patrick Dangerfield on Instagram, you've never seen the 300-gamer Cat skipper more petrified than when they flew into the Gold Coast in a lightning storm. This is the fearless Joel Selwood, who runs headlong into centre-half forwards and dives at packs, pulling down the shades of the aeroplane because of the lightning outside of his window.
Did he actually get off the plane with blood coming off his head? Because that's what normally happens every game.
So, poor old Joel, a little bit shaken up heading into tonight. We'll have to see if it affects him.
Hey, he's set for a bit of a change this year as well, playing a little bit more half forward, maybe to protect him as much as to get some of the younger guys. Maybe we'll see more of Quinton Narkle. We can see him in the centre circle as well, and that's a bit of a theme going right across the comp. Andrew Swallow will play a little bit more, David Swallow will play a little bit more forward of centre as well. Lockie Neal on the wing this year.
And I think Jack Lukosius will probably play forward more so this year for the Suns as well. Of course, he started as a forward when he first came to the club. He's been playing in defence the last 3 years, but I guess with Ben King going down, they probably need another big forward there as well. So look forward to him kicking some goals.
Champs, given the King injury, which is just devastating for not only Ben King as a young man, although he's handled it amazingly maturely, but for this club as well, which really desperately wants to get into finals football, how important now is the recruitment of both Casbolt and Scholl heading into this season, given that King injury?
And they wouldn't have known that, of course. Look, it's a stroke of luck, or is it stroke of brilliance? I don't know. But look, Levi, he's played 250 odd games, and he's averages 1 goal per game. But I reckon this might be a good move for him later on in his career. And I reckon if Stewie Jew and his cronies play it smart, they might actually release him a little bit to be a bit more of a mobile forward. Maybe try to get the third defender on him, and that might free him up. And we know getting the footy is not the issue, it's converting the goals, which is most importantly when you're playing for a team that's a bit lower down the ladder than others at the moment, because every goal is at a premium. So looking forward to seeing how they combine. But Big Marby Achol, massive recruit for them.
Yeah, it was clunking them against Port Adelaide in their practice match here as well. Let's say good evening for the first time tonight. Down on the boundary, it is Belinda Mellon. G'day, B.
Good evening, gentlemen. Well, Joel Selwood may be a little bit shaky. Boys, you never know. He is starting the game on the bench. There is not very often that happens. So that'll be good. I'll get to have a close look at him and just see if he does anything special to calm the nerves. A little bit damp underfoot out there too, I expect. I've noticed the umpires out there with towels practicing their bouncing of the ball. It looks like it will be a dry evening, though. Showers about, but they won't come until midnight. Sadly, those showers are hovering over Lismore right now, so that is not good news. It gives you a heavy heart just to see them lingering. About 24 degrees here at ground level, but the humidity will be a factor. It's at about 80%. It is heavy and muggy, so that no doubt will work in the Suns' favour, gentlemen.
Feels very sticky up here too, doesn't it? Must be quite slippery, the ball down there tonight.
Maybe it was the toffee you were eating, Tomo.
Might get them to tweak that aircon a little bit, B. Enjoy yourself down there tonight.
Thank you, B.
Gentlemen.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. From a Cats perspective, they've brought in Tyson Stengel, was at the Crows and at the Tigers, and something they were looking for, Champs, was a bit more from their crumbing small forwards, because Dalhouse only kicked 7 goals last year.
Yes.
And that was an area that they needed to address.
Yeah, absolutely. And I reckon the recruiters of both teams, and there's many that have done well, have really just picked out a couple of the areas that they need improving on, and that was probably one for the Cats. We know of their big forwards with Cameron coming a couple of years ago, so Hawkins will always do his job there. He'll always be the number one target, but he always brings it to ground. If he doesn't grab it, he'll always bring it to ground, so to have that small crumbing forward is very important for the Cats, so they've recruited well there.
There's a bloke by the name of Jeremy Cameron that might also, draw some attention as well. If you just, Champs, and I know you weren't a small forward in your day, but if you're Tyson Stengel, a bloke who has some red marks on his CV and as a result was let go by the Adelaide Crows, but now his mentor Eddie Betts is with the Cats as a coach, gets a second chance at senior footy, or a third chance even here, to join a team where you mention Hawkins and Cameron, these two spearheads that are going to attract so much of the footy, and the message from Chris Scott and the other coaches is just be there. Just be there. I mean, what a fantastic opportunity for Tyson to revive his AFL career.
And you've got Radicalea there as well, who's very mobile and another big unit. So you wouldn't be watching the footy, you'd just be watching those guys and just be around them. And he'll get to know their game plan and who they go to and when. So he should be very excited, I reckon, with what's ahead of him for season 2022.
Yeah, look, very lively against the Tigers. So in terms of the notable players who aren't out there tonight, no Tom Stewart, did play against the Tigers, managing him. Mitch Duncan, Gary Rowan, Menegola and Segler, who came across from the Hawks, won't be in the ruck tonight. That'll be Reece Stanley going against Jared Witts. And for the Suns, no Jack Bowes. So Lockie Weller is playing across half-back until he's back. Ben King, we mentioned, Elijah Hollins and Mac Andrew, two of their promising youngsters as well. And for the Cats, a change in assistant coaches and a change in game plan as well. A little bit more attacking we should see tonight, Flanners and Champs, because they overhauled their assistant coaches. They were more a kick mark team, but they fell well short against the Demons, so they need to make some tweaks.
Am I right in saying that the Cats have gone into this season where they essentially don't have line coaches? They've adopted an across-the-board assistant coaching group, but no one is directly responsible for a specific area of the ground?
And I don't mind that. And Chris Scott's a bit of a pioneer in this sort of area. He's his own man, and he does think outside the square a little bit. Having played with him for a long time, he's very measured. He thinks about everything. And I do like this approach. Every team just does what every other team does. That's what's been happening. And for him to actually change it, you watch other clubs will change it now if it's successful. And they've been one of the most successful, consistent clubs in the last decade, the Cats. So why wouldn't you follow what they're doing? So well done to Chris Scott and obviously the board and the football management there for taking this stance and going down this line of thinking as the coin's being tossed at the moment. Looks like Jared Witts has won it and heading to the southern end of the ground here at Metricon.
Joel Selwood's rattled. I tell you, this lightning has rattled him on the flight over. When was the last time you saw Joel Selwood lose
the toss? Yeah, well, it's all downhill from here.
It's rattled.
So there you go. Chris Scott's gone with that new theory and see what it does for him. But it'll probably free up the players as well. It does sort of segregate, your defence and your forwards and your mids and all that sort of stuff. When you sort of go off and do your thing, you almost feel obligated to just that one little team. So just pull them all together. I like it.
And it's a big year for Stuart Dew. Chris Scott had the contract extension in the pre-season to take some pressure off. Dew's in the final year of his contract, 5th season as coach, 19 wins, 63 losses, haven't finished higher than 14th. Their CEO, Mark Evans, expects them to be contending for finals this year. Do you guys think that they should be and will be contending for a top 8 spot in 2022?
Make or break year for Stewie Jew this year. It's a tough ask with... look, don't even mention the Ben King thing again. There's nothing you can do about it now. You've got your players, you've got your list you have to work with. Let's just go with that. So he's not going to be making excuses for why they're not going to make the 8. They weren't far off a couple of other games to win. They won 6. They should have probably won 8. They were close on a couple of other occasions, but I don't mind their squad they've got out there tonight. So a little bit of self-assurance, a little bit of a reality check from time to time, and they could be knocking on the door.
I'm not going to say whether they make finals or not, but the difficult thing is it's all well and good to get better, but you're relying on the 6 teams that finished above them
who drops out
to get worse or to become better than them, and all the clubs have been working hard in the off-season. So
Yep, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, the yellow Sharon is in the air. Take it away, Liam Flanagan on Triple M Footy.
Ready to be Community Series underway at Metricon Stadium. The Suns taking on the Cats. Suns skipper Jared Witts can't get past Stanley, wins the tap down to nobody. Miller, coming off an All-Australian season, gets the first clean disposal. A nice clean grab taken by Ainsworth. Plays on quickly to Anderson. Running shot. It's not going to bend back enough. Minor scores Suns. Kicking to the right of your radio dial. That's on the Triple M scoreboard.
Just a bit of a nothing kick, that one. He either had to go hard at the goal or just put it to the top of the square where Nabia Chol was waiting.
And Atkins streaming out of defence. He's across his defensive 50. Comes inboard and finds Jed Buse. Thought about the handball, but now holds off. He's got Holmes as a longer option. If he can spread towards the boundary, then that'll give some space for Tomahawk, where Hawkins comes in from the side. Comes over the back to Holmes. Got it to Hawkins now, just ushered over the boundary line by the crab, Caleb Graham, and we get our first boundary throw-in. Belinda Melbourne is downstairs in the boundary.
Keep an eye on Tom Hawkins, boys. Just before that opening bounce, the team doctor sprinted out and had a quick chat to Hawkins just to check he was okay, and then spin it off again. There's obviously some concern around him.
We'll keep an eye on the Tomahawk as the ball spins back into play. Stanley v. Witts.
I think he may be concerned about the oil poisoning he's got on his arms beat.
He looks very shiny out there, does the big Tomahawk. Free kick's been played. It's going to Jared Witts. Tuke Miller has snuck out the back. You'd think the Cats would pay a bit more respect to this man after the season he just delivered. Sends it inside forward 50. Casbolt and Chol both got there. Beautiful crumb by Lukosius. First goal on the board to the Gold Coast Suns. Jack Lukosius is pure class. Looking for a big year for this young man. First goal on the board for the Suns. 1-1-7. Cats yet to score. Triple M score.
You know what? Well, there was 2 big units for the Gold Coast Suns, both vying for that footy, contesting for it. Here it is again on the replay. And I don't mind that they're both keen for the footy, but Lukosius just there, Johnny on the spot, read it that it was going to tip over the back. It's probably where your small forward should be rather than a big one, but he's so versatile and so athletic that he was able to read it and run into an open goal. But if I was Stewie Jew, I'd be absolutely rapt that both big players were clunked to each other, both going for the footy, both hungry for it.
Bareem Hot Water, steady, hot and strong in Stawlerine. Great start for Jack Lukosius. Playing up forward. That was already the plan before Ben King went down, but that is a nice start for the South Australian. Back in the middle. And here they go again. Took Miller, shows Patrick Dangerfield a clean pair of heels. But taking the front position is Kolajasny deep in the Cats' defence.
Been a super player for this Cats team over the past 6 or 7 years. Kolajasny.
Stan!
Kind of look back on what Brother Cade could have been if not for those head knocks. Cats stretch it down the outer side. Metricon Stadium. Big Jared Witts couldn't keep it in front. Close came through. Witts on hands and knees. Danger. Try to feed along the ground back to Stanley. Eventually the Cats keep it moving forward into some space, and a nice intercept mark taken by Powell for the Suns.
Yeah, he's a tough player, Will Powell, and that is a beautiful kick. He had to put some pace on it to get to Casbolt. Casbolt wants to hand it off, and now they load up through Matty Rao. Goes inside the 50. Not a great kick. Ainsworth coming through. Holman there as well, putting on some pressure. Now Adkins. Ainsworth swinging on him, picked up by De Koning, now off to Zach Guthrie, and now the Cats might be out of trouble. Now it just bounces in front of Sean Higgins and goes out of bounds.
Just keep an eye on Jared Witts at the moment. He looks a little bit proppy after that last contest, but he doesn't seem to be jumping at the ball like we were. I know it's early doors, him coming back, but just doesn't seem quite confident to really go up the footy at the moment.
Takes front position here, nice tap down. Just no Suns at the fore as Dangerfield took on the tackler. A nice tackle stuck by Will Powell. Made it a ball in dispute. Quick hands coming from Weller. Oh, a bit of a throw there. Umpire said play on. Powell doesn't know whether to handball or kick. Eventually spins 360 and moves it inside. Kick inside forward 50. That's going to travel out of bounds on the full free kick, Cats.
Well, Cats yet to have it inside their forward 50.
The Suns started well against the Power as well with a 6-goal opening term, and the Power playing catch up from there. Or that's a risky kick there, looking for Higgins in the Cats defence. Picked up by Anderson. Can he make them pay? Pass a little bit too tall there for Casbolt. Brings it down. Taken away by Nick Holman. And the former Blue, who's switched numbers from 39 to 7 this year. They love him at the Gold Coast Suns. Puts through their second 2-1-13 early going here at Metricon Stadium for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Champs. Triple M Rocks footy.
Yeah, look, it's 5-0 as far as inside the 50s is concerned in favour of the Gold Coast Suns. So they're dominating play going forward. They're getting numbers to the footy, which the pressure comes on, and they've got other teammates there to back them up. And again, you see Levi Casbolt going for that mark, and he would have been receiving a free kick. But advantage was paid.
Champs, over the history of the Suns, and as we see, and I know we're only 5 minutes into the first term, but Levi Casbolt, I mean, can you think of somebody over the history of the Suns, a big, imposing, jumping forward like that the club has had? Peter Wright never really assumed the mantle.
Yeah.
And Stuart Dew must be so pleased to see Levi jumping at the footy like this.
Absolutely. I mentioned before with both him and Marvia there both going for the footy. It's a real bonus for him.
Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The Cats still looking for their first inside 50. The Suns half-back repelling, keeping it moving forward. Quick hands. Comes to Jeremy Cameron, a long way from goal. Finally sends it inside forward 50. Radagalia with the sit. No sticky hands. Couldn't bring it down. Witt's back there doing the defensive work for the Suns. Quick shovel handball. Suns have numbers. In fact, they're going to get a free kick. Their advantage has been paid.
And Lemons gets it to Weller, measures that down the line. Good kick, and Chol takes that on the chest, just in the field of play. De Koning hit the deck, so Chol decides to play on, and he's got a free teammate out the back in Isaac Rankin. Oh, he's so clever and so slippery on the boundary, and he brings that into Brandon Ellis. Brandon Ellis centres it to centre half forward. Fiorini coming through. Higgins got hands to it. And that'll be a free kick to the Cats veteran, Sean Higgins, who at his birthday last Friday turned 34, Champs.
They're taking some risks, the Gold Coast Suns. I like that. I think in the past they've been really careful about where they get in the footy, but they're trying to hit 50-50 targets at the moment.
Quick kick forward from Hughes. 50-50 contest, Dangerfield. In fact, it was Cameron who threw his opponent aside. Going to be a free kick going the way of Caleb Graham.
Some good matchups there. Graham on Cameron, and also Sam Cobb, a big job on Hawkins.
Chewing off the short kick, the Suns. Ellis again goes short, just inching their way up the line. Powell, he goes short, corridor kick, finds Weller. Weller has the option to continue the switch, just stagnating now. We'll look to dump it up the line.
And De Koning will fly from behind. Ball hits the pack, comes out towards McPherson, but ran out of real estate. And that ball goes over the line and out of bounds right where the boundary line meets the 50-metre line. It's 2-1-13. Cats yet to score. 7.5 gone in this opening term. So Chol in the ruck against Stanley. 2 number ones. Comes down towards Fiorini. Stevens there with him. Rao extracts that out of the pack. Holman was being held by Guthrie. Play on. Coming through is Alex Davies, the young fella from Cairns. Brings that back into the pack. Body's diving on the footy. The umpire has called it and said that you dragged it in there, young fella, and Alex Davies has given up the free kick.
Let's get down to Belinda Mellon on the boundary beat.
Bit of a relief down here, boys. Jared Wicks has just come to the boundary. Of course, he's returning from that massive knee injury. You said he was hobbly before, Champs. Well, he's all okay. Hasn't spoken to the doctor. He's fine, just sitting on the bench, so that is good news.
Got the clearance, just a little maybe spikes down the shin as part of doing the job of the ruckman, as Joel Selwood just sold a few dummy, sent it inside 50. Radagalia tried to step the tackle, very nicely stuck there by Graham holding the football.
Didn't quite get a hand to it.
A couple of nice displays in the one-on-one contest from Graham, firstly on Jeremy Cameron and then on Asaba Radagalia.
He's put on some beef too. Jack picked it up, our producer at the back. He said, have a look at the crab. He has got on quite the carb diet, I would have thought, during the summer. So Caleb Graham has put on probably We'll have to have a look at his stats from last year, but maybe 3 or 4 kilos at least.
And he's got the big levers. That's why they call him the Crab. Was playing ruck last year, but they brought in Marby Achol, who's just stood up and taken a very nice contested grab. He's on the wing as numbers peel off all around him.
Got to move quicker than that, Marbs.
And it's taken long, and now he's just forced to kick to a pack as Stanley getting back. Davies read it off, but Stanley picks it up, got it to Guthrie, goes boundary side to Narkle. His first possession finds De Koning just backward of centre.
Sam De Koning, 206 centimetres, doesn't look it out there at the moment. Still quite skinny as he sends it long down the line. Nice contest from Ballard. Ball spills forward with Swallow standing in the contest. Anderson, Swallow, Rao, shovel hand pass through the middle now. Power, good user of the footy. Nice kick to Lukosius on a strong lead. Men steaming inside forward 50. McPherson, he picked the smallest one. The kick didn't get to him. McPherson finally gets to a bouncing footy.
Well,
what about the don't argue from the smallest bloke on the field? But he's turned the footy over, and here come the Cats.
And they go up towards the wing as Francis Evans has some work to do in between two. Collins has clean bowled. He might be sore. There's his opponent, Hawkins. Will have a bounce, looks around, wants to go the handball over the top looking for close, but Rowell read it beautifully, and Ballard clears the danger and goes up towards the wing.
Collins did not want that footy anywhere near him. He is still sucking the wind in at the moment, and the block go away from him. Eventually the Cats move it forward. Suns should take the mark. They have numbers, Power.
So he's floating across and helping out really well, Flanners, at the moment. And there's another 50-50 kick that's hit Chol. Now Marby's got to get it moving quicker here. He's still stagnant.
I think Marbs is used to playing in front of 50,000 at the MCG. I
He's waiting for the yell, is he?
We're lucky to have 2,000 here at Metricon Stadium tonight, Marby. Might just have to get used to the hurry up, as we'll have a boundary throw-in out of side of Metricon Stadium.
He's pretty laconic about things at the moment, isn't he? So we're on the Goldie right now, so things are pretty cash here.
Playing like it's a Monday night game. Chol and Stanley in the ruck again. Isaac Smith's on his own out the back. Chol with strength pushes Stanley out the way. Smith is there and gets it going forward. Taking the front position was Ballard. His kick was smothered beautifully by Evans, who still sweats on him. Picks it up, squirts a handball out the front. Selwood goes off the deck towards the goal square, and tracking it near the pocket is the Crab. Caleb Graham in front of Radaglia is happy to see that ball go out of bounds.
It looks like there's been a free kick paid downfield potentially.
You just been past the canyon, see you.
No, just a bit of a chat going on the Triple M umpires' mics. Boundary throw-in. 2-1-13 the Suns. Cats still yet to register a score. We've played at 11 and a half minutes in the first term. Marby Achol went with foot out of the ruck. Going to have a boundary throw-in. Interesting to see how the umpires handle time wasters and back chat. We've seen precedents set so far in the AAMI Community Series, with the reigning premiers, the Melbourne Demons, copying a fair few punishments. Boundary throw in. Hawkins to go against Chol inside forward 50. Cameron jumped up, took the footy. Taken by Rao was he. Coming through off the deck was Swallow. Clears defensive 50. Oh, solid contest there by Davies. Straight line the footy and then bounced back and contested again too. He shovelled it forward. Suns now with it through Rao.
And getting down low is Matt Rowell and wins himself a free kick. Looking forward to seeing what this guy can do after a full pre-season. Bites off a kick into the middle. Chopped off by Isaac Smith. Narkle will send them forward. Hawkins from the back. Radaglia in front. Hawkins kept his feet beautifully. Tries to get it out to Higgins. On the left. Slams that straight into the post. For the Cats' first score of the night. It is a behind. Gold Coast 2-1-13, Geelong 1 behind, 12 and a half minutes gone.
Powell brings it in quickly. Contest, Swallow, lovely bit of front and centre work. Goes that corridor kick. They're really looking for that tonight, the Suns, in the hands of Ainsworth. Now, this is where Champs want them to move it quickly, but the Cats have set up that defensive press very nicely. Ainsworth is going to be forced to kick to the pocket. A big fly is going to come from Witts, who's drifted down deep. No mark taken. Casbolt pulled up a bit proppy there. We'll keep an eye on him. Guthrie, the can variety, sat kick, and Caleb Graham. He and Will Power probably started the best on ground so far this first quarter.
Yeah, I like the body language at the moment. They're all congratulating each other. And the Suns, I think they need to really make every post a winner for this season. They really need to be up and about and helping everybody. I have noticed there's times that there was a couple of passes that could have been players that are confident in their own ability to hit the 50-50s are doing it. Others are just not quite sure yet. And that's going to be the difference in them potentially making the 8 or not this year.
Great hit out from Witts, down to Anderson. Tumbling ball to centre half forward has been marked by Darcy McPherson. Almost dishes off the handball. Anderson gets it again. Squares that toward the goal square. Bounced off the chest of Chol. Picked up by Ainsworth. Not a lot of room there. Kicks it across the face of goal from the right pocket to the left. It's still in the field of play. Tui and Adkins. Good handball. Now finds Stevens.
Well done with the catch.
And now Adkins has cleared the danger. It goes up towards the wing. They've got a one-on-one out there. Tom Hawkins and Collins. Close coming through. Goes off the deck. And finally, it is over the line and for a boundary throw-in.
Let's get down to Belinda Mellon on the boundary beat.
Patrick Dangerfield's just spent a few minutes down in the rooms. He's returned and he's just stretching out that groin area. It'd be interesting to see how they manage him for the rest of the game.
Keep an eye on Patrick Dangerfield. We don't need to be blowing up our Ferraris of the competition in the AAMI Community Series. There's a free kick paid from the ruck contest. It's going against Roy Stanley again, which has had the better of that battle so far.
Come around, please, Jared.
He's a massive human being, is the Suns co-skipper, and he hands it off. He knows that he's not out there paid to kick the footy. Gives it to Weller. He finds Lemons. Corridor attack here for the Suns. Searching kick inside forward 50. Came from Ballard to the top of the square. Numbers there for the Suns. Diving on the footy with the Cats. They might be in strife here. We wait for the umpire. Oh, eventually Darcy McPherson has popped out the back and managed to score behind. The umpire really let that one go. Minor score to the Suns. They move to 2-2-14. Cats the one behind at 13-point margin. Triple M scoreboard.
Keep coming.
And certainly the Suns doing most of the attacking, and they concede the kick into the pocket to Isaac Smith, who gets up and running, slams that on the left boot. Cameron Ballard did well to hold his position, and the Suns through numbers, picked up by Caleb Graham. It was an awkward James Manson looking kick, and that ball goes out of bounds on the full, champs.
You'll find out, Flanners, very quickly that he loves bringing stuff up from like 1926. Players' names you haven't heard of for 48 years, etc. I love it.
Cats bring it in. Big fly from Lemons. He got up high and went the fist, and Jeremy Cameron just rubbing the back of his scone. Not sure if the Cat spearhead appreciated Sean Lemons' knee in the back of his skull.
Triple M Red Z Lending Stats, leading stat winners on the ground at the moment. Noah Anderson and Lukey Weller, 6 apiece, and Matty Rao, 5. Will Power, of course, off to a flyer as well. For the Cats, Zach Guthrie leads with 7.
He was playing in defence, so that illustrates just how often it's been in their defensive 50. Stanley got 2 hands to it and slaps it forward about 15 metres. Swallow off to Miller. Miller tried the dinky handball to Swallow. Under pressure looking for Anderson. Did well to get that ball in front of him. Got it from Matt Rowell and slams that up towards half forward. Casbold is out of position. Oh, juggled mark just dropped there by Collar Jasny. Adkins swooping on the footy. On the left, under pressure. Sends that out of bounds on the full.
On the line. Outside.
Suns fans should be excited about Noah Anderson this season. He's elevated to the leadership group. You just get some real good feels about what he might deliver as the ball gets sent inside. Levi flew early, but he had Hughes and Collar Jasny going against him, so we'll have a boundary throw in. Suns forward 50.
Reach you up. Geelong ruck. No Geelong. No Geelong ruck. No Geelong ruck.
You mentioned Noah Anderson lifting his disposals from 16 to 22 last year. He just keeps getting better every year. Started off on the wing, and now here he is in the middle, right on cue. Slung in the tackle and just held on to it for too long. Was looking for a handball, but was tackled by Joel Selwood, who will take that deep in defence, Flanners.
Captain Lightning with the footy. He chooses to go corridor. Beautiful kick. Just had a little bit too much pepper on it as the Suns look to rebound. Ainsworth had plenty of time to assess. The kick just not deep enough to get to Fiorini. Cats have the footy now, sweeping via handball. Close, stepped in, one side tackle, got dropped by, who was it, Fiorini again. A juggling ball over the top, going to ground. Strong tackle laid by Atkins, and we'll have a ball up just outside the Suns forward 50.
Already you see a few players just on their haunches and really feeling the heat and humidity tonight. We have got 8 interchange, of course, in the community series, so they'll get a chance for plenty of rest.
Wits down to Davies, goes into the pocket. Mark has been taken by Zach Guthrie. Touch number 8, Triple M Red Z Lending Stats coming for him, but he is camped in the back pocket and there's no uncontested option, so he'll go up the line. Closes out the back all on his own, but it won't get there. It doesn't carry, and it's been marked by Rory Atkins. the former Crow, another one who will benefit from a full pre-season. He's going to tee that 20 out from goal. Out the back is Casbolt off hands and through for a rush behind. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Suns 2-3-15. The Cats one behind. Almost 20 minutes gone, opening turn.
Do you have a plan or any co-captains in your time, chaps?
Well, yes, Lynchy and Vossi.
Lynchy and Vossi,
yes.
okay.
Yep. And then, of course, those boys went on and won a premiership.
They went all right.
First, Lynchy stepped down after that.
Not a huge height difference between Vossi and Lynchy. There was a bit.
No.
Not massive.
There is one. Jack just gives us a bit of a fun Triple M Red Z lending stat.
Yeah.
Witts and Miller are the greatest height differential in the history of the game.
It not surprises me, really, given the size of Jared Witts.
He's a unit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the footy is on the outer side. Sun's got the free kick. Anderson was called to play on. And there's the abuse free kick. We've seen it, a 50-metre penalty. It's going to go to Isaac Smith, who has taken off like the clappers. Noah Anderson stuck in back play with his arms in the air, still asking the question. But that's the back chat.
I wonder...
Play on quickly, the Cats. Higgins, handballs wide, finds Cam Guthrie. Dangerfield marks inside forward 50, tight angle, outer side of Metricon Stadium.
I wonder how far you can go now. I mean, what's classified as... Is it just questioning the decision, or is it abuse per se?
Well, you played the game, champs. Is there ever a reason to speak to the umpires?
Well, you can ask them a question. I think it's
But does it achieve anything?
As a short kick comes in and Cameron takes some mark right on the boundary. I think it's I think it's in the tone, isn't it?
Always.
Yeah, so I think it's probably how you ask it.
Jeremy Cameron has this. He's going to go the Stevie J around the body kick. He's a special at these. He hooks, he snaps, he misses to the short side. So minor score. Cats, they move to 2 behinds. Suns 2-3-15. Cats just the 2 points, a 13-point differential in favour of the home side. Triple M scoreboard.
The AFL did come out through the week and say that the numbers in umpires are declining, and this is the reason why we brought this rule in, because we don't want umpires to get abused and therefore not want to get involved in the game and have umpires and that sort of stuff. So I get it, I totally get it. But I just wonder what the level of tolerance is.
Witts and Radagalia, the Suns came out of defence, are up at half back. Turning into the tackle was Noah Anderson, and again he is pinged for holding the ball, but you have to love his ambition to try and get the ball moving here as Parford kicks that towards the pocketing, and 2 hands was Ballard and Collins who came across, and they sent that ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in left forward pocket. Geelong's attacking in front as they're still searching for their first goal of this game.
But the AFL does set the standard for every other league going around, right? So it's a good thing.
Sean, what's a footy?
Boundary throw in. Hawkins v Witts. Hawkins does the body work inside forward 50. Guthrie taken out of mid-air. Parford slung in the tackle by Miller. Higgins tried to come through cleanly, couldn't pick it up. Guthrie, quick hands, coming through at pace was Evans for the Cats. And it's shovelled over the boundary line. Another boundary throw in. Cats just the 2 behind. Suns 2-3-15. What are the Triple M Red Z lending stats? Who are the leaders at this stage of the first term, champs?
Yes, Will Powell again leading the way, and Matty Rao. Anderson's now actually got 7, so there's quite a few on half a dozen, including Lukey Weller and Took Miller. And Zach Guthrie again leading the way with Atkins for the Cats.
From the boundary throw-in, they got it to Stengel on the run, but there was 3 Suns around him, and Sean Lemons, who reinvented himself as a small defender, affected the tackle. Still another stoppage for the Suns' defence to contend with. So Witt's got it down to Swallow. That hit a bum before it got to Anderson. Outside the defensive 50, not the most convincing kick. Radagalia's juggling attempt, couldn't quite mark it. Parford goes off the deck. Powell got a fist to it. Now Anderson again getting busy and goes up towards the wicket. It's going to bounce over the head of Chol. Read well by Adkins. Tries to paddle the ball to himself, and he's got Holman on him, but he did that beautifully, Funners.
Quick spin inside to Conning. You can see how slippery that footy is as De Conning almost loses it. Atkins shoveled the handball over the head. Buse, strong of body through the hips, moves it forward, gets it to Stevens. He snaps around the body. Guthrie will fly. Couldn't take the mark, Lockie Weller. Miller and Radagalia. Let Radagalia take it. Matty Rao stands up. Just shovels the kick forward. Hasn't been the cleanest passage of play. Geez, Jed Buse just copped an absolute flying knee from his teammate Cooper Stevens there. In the end, the Suns have the footy. Rankin looks corridor. Beautiful kick. Finds Ainsworth. Space on the fat side. The kick did no favours for Jack Lukosius. Smooth moving Jack. Just spun around top of the square. Chol marks 10 metres out directly in front.
Well, they've missed a couple of targets going forward they probably should have hit, but they just had the numbers running forward. They're working really hard, the Suns, at the moment. I just wonder whether they'll be able to sustain this for the rest of the game. But, gee, they worked really hard to make sure there were some loose players up forward.
We'll get down to Belinda Mellon in a moment because Jed Hughes is still in the hands of the trainer in back play. He copped some friendly fire. I think it was Cooper Stevens.
Nick.
For a young man who hasn't made his debut yet, is not how you go about making friends. Marbiel Chol slots his first for the evening. The Richmond recruit on a nice fat 4-year deal joins the Suns and kicks their third. They move to 3-2-20. Geelong still with the 2 behind to back 3-3-21. Geelong 2 behind, so a 19-point margin on the Triple M scoreboard. Let's get down to Belinda Mellon. Ben Hughes, is he okay?
He is okay. Well, he certainly waved the doctor away, so he wants to stay out that's for sure. Fiorini, though, looks to have an issue with his leg. He limped off quite heavily. Both doctor and physio attending him right now.
Fourth mark for Marbia Chol so far from his 5 touches, so he's doing what he's been recruited for. That's to be a big target up forward, clunking some marks and saluting through the big ones when required. So his first goal of the evening. Atkins now leading all comers on the field at the moment for the Cats on 10 disposals. Noah Anderson 9 for the Gold Coast Suns. Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Oh, good turn there from Parfitt. Got the hand into Anderson and then kicks a high ball straight up the chimney to centre half forward. Cameron comes out the back. Nice handball there from Isaac Smith, but Mellon with a bit of strength. Good handball, releases Swallow, kicks it out wide to a one-on-one to Holman, brought it to ground. Doing the roving was Marbia Chol, held off the kick, and now he goes towards the teeth of goals because there's no one there. And it drifts out to the right and out of bounds. For McDonald's, score enough to feed the whole team. Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack. 40? That's an entree for you.
Boundary throw-in. Right next to the right-hand point post inside the Suns forward 50. Casbolt to do the ruck work inside forward 50. We expect to see a lot of that this year. Quick handball out from Holman. Miller back-pedalling. He couldn't back-pedal fast enough. On the boundary line, we'll have another boundary throw-in. Fiorini will keep
the arms down.
Belinda Mellon across. He hobbled to the bench for the Suns. Not what the young ball magnet would want. Going to be a boundary thrown inside the Suns forward 50. They lead it by 19 points. Triple M scoreboard.
And had the lion's share of the inside 50s. Casbolt and Blitzarves. Casbolt trying to work Blitzarves underneath the footy and now creates space for Anderson. Goes off the deck towards Chol. Got a hand to it. Can he keep it in the field of play? No. And here is Belinda Mellon on the boundary.
Reece Stanley has hobbled off. Looks like he has an issue with that already heavily bandaged right leg. He's doing some stretches sort of up against the bike right now. Looks like he might jump on it and hopefully pedal what looks like a cork out. Let's hope he's okay.
All right, another maybe minor concern out of this one. We haven't even got through the first term yet. Ball inside the Suns forward 50, 19-point margin in favour of the Gold Coast. Going to be a free kick going to the Suns.
Throw, I think he called Flanners.
Yeah, going against Brandon Parfitt. And I like this from Isaac Rankin. He's getting stuck in.
Oh, hang on, no, he's reversed it.
Oh, I liked it up until that point. Quinton Narkle, the recipient.
And all he can do,
just getting carried away
with that new rule, is just smile at the ump. So fair enough, sir.
Narkle sends it outside defensive 50. Cameron didn't go for the footy. Close did. Shoveled the handball through. Selwood shoveled it in the direction of Cameron. A swooping Rashudo-esque handball out to the outer side. Long searching kick. Dangerfield, top of the square. Bodywork. Goal to the Cats.
Good work.
First one on the board. Patrick Dangerfield. And he got to the ball drop, protected it, and an easy goal for the Brownlow medalists. First one on the board for the Cats. They move to 1-2-7. Now a 14-point margin on the Triple M scoreboard, and a couple of the Suns teammates just going up to Isaac Rankin and saying, we appreciate the energy, but next time if we could keep our shot at goal.
Oh, they're going up, and Zach Tui, number 1, he's going up to him and saying, mate, that wasn't necessary, and you've cost your team, and that's a 2-goal turnaround right there. So I don't think Stewie Drew would be very happy either. But well done to the Cats. Paddy Dangerfield, Johnny on the spot, just read the ball drop perfectly, just protected that, put his body there, and got the first. But it took 27.5 minutes for the Cats to get their first goal. They've just really struggled in front to get a real clean look at the footy.
Belinda Mellon on the boundary for us again. B, you've got another update?
So the doctors went out to Jed Hughes and said, mate, you need to get off the ground. Both the doctor and the physio went out to him and they've taken him straight down to the rooms.
Thank you, B. Here is Rowell. Got that out to Miller. Miller sends that ball into space. Tui playing in front of McPherson. There's a free teammate into Koning. Goes with the left-handed handball. Out wide now. Holmes lost it. Will pick it up again. He's got Atkins there in support. In fact, no. I know they got a free kick for too high. So they've been let off the hook. At half back with under 2 minutes remaining in this quarter. 3-3-21 the Suns. 1-8 are the Cats. They're going to dump this ball up the line. Out the back it comes now to Lemons with a bit of time. Goes to Swallow. Just kicks around the corner. And I think that might be a free kick there to young McPherson Flunners on the wing.
Stand. Yeah, I'm convinced Jed Buse has gone down for a HIA.
Stay out.
He copped a flying knee from Cooper Stevens about 5-6 minutes ago. And I reckon the doc, by the sounds of it, has seen that on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. And he has gone out, as they have to these days, due diligence. So we'll keep an eye on Jed Buse. Meantime, Suns spin it to the top of the goal square. Big fly again from Casbolt. Stewie Jew would be loving this. Anderson couldn't take the sliding mark. Quick hands out by Holmes. Selwood tried the arm lift. The patented Joel Selwood arm raise, and he scored himself a high tackle free kick. Handed it to Narkle, but Rankin had him covered. Eventually, Cameron tried to effect a mark, couldn't do so. Caleb Graham and Will Powers given away a free kick. The Cats, the recipient of some nice free kicks here in the footy with Stengel.
And they've got to Dangerfield on a lead in the pocket. Atkins desperately trying to get across. Dangerfield couldn't quite take the mark. Kick towards the goal square where the Suns have numbers. Graham caught one in the back from close. Ellis is there to swoop on the footy and thump it to a one-on-one. It's McPherson against Smith. Well done from Isaac Smith, the veteran, and he had a great first season, top 5 in the BNF, and squares it up to Selwood.
Inside the final 23 seconds of this, and
50 metres against Will Powell.
Talk us through it, champs.
Well, I think he just overcrept the mark a little bit. I think he sort of was trying to mind it so he couldn't play on quickly, and he must have just either moved on the mark or he just crept over it.
Well, the Cats skipper Joel Selwood has been marched to 15 metres out directly in front, and if he hadn't had the scariest plane flight of his life on the way here, I'd mark it down, champ. But the Lightning, Tomo, I think it might... No, he slotted it through the middle. 5 seconds to play in the quarter. The Cats have their second. They move to 2-14. The siren will sound... And it should be, well, it'll sound once the ball gets back to the middle for the restart. And it'll be the Gold Coast Suns taking a 7-point lead in at the quarter-time break. 3 games Selwood needs to break the all-time captaincy record held by Stephen Kernahan. Someone who would have spent a fair bit of time on big sticks. Champ?
Yes, indeed. A big unit.
One of the great karaoke singers.
Yeah. He hates people mentioning that.
He's okay with me.
Hey, there's still 4 players for the Gold Coast Suns who haven't seen daylight yet. Any time on the ground, and 3 for the Cats. So both clubs just keeping some players up their sleeves.
So Radigalia and Chol. The siren will sound basically as soon as the umpire throws it up. Chol getting up. And that is quarter time at Metricon Stadium. Positive start from the Gold Coast Suns until a little bit of ill-discipline crept in. They conceded 2 late goals at quarter time. It is the Suns leading 3-3 from Geelong 2-2-14 for McDonald's and Green Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for McDonald's. Score enough to beat the whole team with Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack.
Triple M rocks footy. This is Triple M Melbourne. Weekdays from 6, the Marty Sheargold Show live.
Hands off Snakey.
Now at 4 p.m, Triple M's Rush Hour with JB and Billy.
Couldn't get that any other show, could you?
Don't reckon you could, no.
And Triple M plays rock's greatest hits all day. And now with the cricket over, we're ready for the footy. Streaming on the Listener app, your smart speaker, and 105.1.
That is good.
That's Triple M Melbourne.
Hello, welcome to Athena Home Loans.
Hi, I'm looking to refinance and I have a few questions.
Go for it.
So, how much are your application fees?
We don't have any.
What about ongoing or monthly fees?
We don't have any.
Exit fees?
No exit fees either.
Oh. So how do you stop people from leaving?
Well, we want them to leave us because they've paid down their loan.
Wow, you're not like other lenders.
No, we're not a bunch of bankers.
No fees plus new extra low rates. See how much you can save at athena.com.au. Athena, love us and leave us. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
Doctors without the waiting rooms. Feels better. Medication straight to your door. Perfect when you're feeling so.
Online doctors and pharmacy. rosemaryhealth.com.au.
Tools, tools, tools! Sydney Tools! Sydney Tools Back to Work sale is on now! Estwing 20-ounce claw hammer now $79. Save 11%! Milwaukee 18-volt fuel 10-piece combo kit just $29.9. Crazy deals on combo kits, hand tools, air compressors, laser levels, welders and much more. Makita 18-volt 3-piece combo kit now $9.99 and score a free blower. Sydney Tools, best prices guaranteed. Limited time only. Shop in-store online. sydneytools.com.au.
Hi, I'm Adam Shand, and in my new podcast in partnership with the Australian War Memorial, I talk to modern veterans. Search Up Close Conversations with Modern Veterans podcast and download the Listener app now to listen for free.
Listener.
Get ready to meet your muse with the all-new Kia Sportage medium SUV. We unleashed a new petrol turbo engine to give you progressive performance. The Kia Sportage has a boldly sculpted exterior and soft touch leather interior. SUVs, meet your muse. The all-new Kia Sportage. To find out more, visit kia.com.au or visit your nearest Kia dealer.
Kia, movement that inspires.
This is the sound of a motorcyclist's jeans being shredded to pieces in a low-speed crash. In reality, it only lasts for 0.6 of a second before the denim disintegrates. Then his flesh is shredded by the coarse bitumen as he grates across the road like a human crayon. Remind your loved ones to wear all the protective gear on every ride. A message from the TAC.
Please join us at Woolworths to help communities impacted by the floods. You can donate at the registers or online at woolworths.com.au/stand. 100% of funds raised will go to the Salvation Army to help those impacted. Thank you for your support.
I used to just be Jack, but now that I own a small business, I'm also Jack from Finance. Jacko the social media, Jackie from...
If you run a small business, then you need Thrive, all-in-one management software built for small businesses like yours. Search THRYV Thrive.
Triple M rocks footy. This quarter for Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Install the Ream.
And it's the Suns with a 7-point lead at quarter time. Probably could have been more until a couple of late goals out of the Cats through to their superstar leaders in Selwood and Dangerfield. Got them within 7 points there at quarter time. The goal kickers for the Gold Coast Suns, Marby Achol, Nick Coleman and Jack Lukosius now playing forward as well. Richard Champion, talk us through that first quarter. Noah Anderson was in the thick of the action. He was pretty good for the Suns.
He's leading all comers on the ground at the moment, Tomo. Noah Anderson, 11 touches. Miller, 9. Rao, Swallow, 8 apiece. And Will Power on 7 for the Cats. Atkins leads them with 10 disposals. Zach Guthrie on 9. Isaac Smith, De Koning on 7 apiece. And Holmes, Cameron and Cam Guthrie and Joel Selwood with 6 touches each. Oh, look, I think Triple M Red Z Lending, by the way. I reckon Stewie Jew would have been really happy with 27.5 minutes of footy in that first term until Isaac Rankin gave away that. Then they got on a bit of a roll. They got some momentum, the Cats, and kicked 2 goals. Other than that, the Gold Coast Suns were all over them. They worked hard, they ran hard, they had numbers at the fall of the ball. They were taking risks with their kicks. The majority of the players were. So I reckon he would have been really, really happy. It's just let the Cats back in. Look, it's a pre-season game. It's a community series. But you do like to win as many games and contests as possible as you go through this process. That's what practice games are all about. The Cats are working really hard defensively. I like the way they're keeping the ball alive and they're using players that are free and trying to create that loose man as they go down the paddock. And they managed to do that a couple of times. So, look, pretty even at the moment. I think the scoreboard reflects that. But Gold Coast was certainly on top for the majority of that first term. Good to see Jared Witts back out there again. So he'll be continuing on his comeback trail, I guess we can call it that, after just about 12 months out from the game.
Belinda Mellon, B, a busy first term. How is Jed Buse? Did he make an appearance at quarter time?
I do not think he'll take any further part in the game, boys. The doctors were still reviewing their concussion vision at quarter time, and Nick Stevens has taken off his warm-up top, the sub, and has been injected into the game. So I think that spells no more Jed Buse for us.
Thank you, B. Nick Stevens is yet to debut, 19-year-old from Geelong Grammar, so we'll see him for now the best part of 3 quarters. Jet Bu's a really important player, small defender who had a great year, career highs in disposals, rebound 50s, so he's off the field. Flanners, you saw that as well.
Yeah, he copped a knee coming through from Cooper Stevens. He dismissed the trainers, and in years gone by, he might have been able to stay out there, but the doctors are onto it these days, and well done to the Cats medical staff for seeing that. We're underway in the second term. Ball in the middle for McDonald's and Ream. Hot water, Triple M Rocks footy. It is the Suns with a 7-point lead, and this man, Touk Miller, just picking up where he left off in season 2021, sending it to true centre-half forward. Ball bouncing. There is plenty of moisture on the deck, so the ball is skidding a lot, although what about the hand from Big Jared Witts? Taking a sticky mark in the middle of Metricon Stadium.
Yeah, so good to see the big fella back. They've missed his presence both as a player and as a leader. Here is Ballard launching it towards centre-half forward. Miller tried to take it on the chest. Close got a handball in, but here come the Suns through Fiorini. And it'll come out wide now to McPherson. Has Swallow drifting forward. Awkward bobbling ball. Bounces off the chest of Atkins. Did well. Got it to De Koning. But ball's still in dispute now in the pocket as De Koning goes in again. Reece Stanley slips off his thigh. Ball goes out of bounds for our first stoppage of the second term inside the Suns 50.
Reece Stanley still a droppy chance.
Yeah, he does a little bit. And I think Witts is in a pretty good match at the moment. He's certainly not 100%.
Boundary throw-in inside the Suns forward 50. They kicked the first 3 of the first term. Rankin went through at pace, so too did Ainsworth. Nicely read by Blitzarves. Got it to Guthrie, kicking around the body. McPherson, often too short in a contest, and so he was then as Holmes lays a beautiful tackle. We'll have a ball up just inside the Suns forward 50. At some point we'll have to talk about the weather here, Tomo.
It is very sweaty up in here.
Sticky.
We need
it's summertime in Queensland. That's what happens.
As the Suns go into attack, but the Cats through numbers. And they've got a mark deep in defence to Adkins, who has had a really busy first term. And goes to his defensive goal square, finds Blitzarves, and Atkins has run on, no one running after him. He goes to the opposite pocket. De Koning's had a fair bit of the footy as well. Here is Smith. Now they've handballed their way out of trouble, as you heard there from Champs, but Atkins just lost the footy. Got a little nudge there from Levi Casbolt, Champs.
Yeah, he was trying to push him in the side, but he might have just got him in the back a little bit tight.
Quick play on by the Cats. Guthrie streaming off half back, sends it long. It's a beautiful way to kick. Darcy McPherson did really well to affect the contest. Holmes has gone off the deck. McPherson's thrown the arms up. Deliberate free kick on a deck that's more akin to a slip and slide. That feels a bit stiff.
Well, when you
as though Darcy McPherson's turned it over and Tomahawk wants to send it inside forward 50. Short kick finds Cameron. He'll have a set shot 45 out.
Well, when you're progressing the ball forward, when you're going forward towards your goal, you're not trying to kick the ball out of bounds. You're trying to progress the ball forward by foot off the ground, so to give you a second chance of picking it up. They just don't get that sometimes.
Jeremy Cameron. He is going to be a huge factor if the Cats are going to have a crack at finals this season. He's a lovely set shot for goal. Jeremy Cameron made that look really easy. Cats have the first of the second term. They move to 3-2-20. A single point behind the Suns, 3-3-21 on the Triple M scoreboard.
He is a beautiful kick at goal, isn't he? I mean, he'd probably kick 9 out of 10. I'm not sure what his ratio is, goals and points. We'll have a look at that shortly, but when he's got the ball in his hand anywhere around the 50 mark, you can just about slot it down. Really good pick up for him.
Yeah, 39 goals last year. Only played 15 out of 25 games. Missed the first 5 games with that hammy, and then missed some other footy during the year as well. So his pre-season has all been about getting strength in those hamstrings.
What about the understatement from Richard Champion describing Coleman medalist Jeremy Cameron as a really good pickup?
Just a good ordinary player.
Just a handy, useful addition.
Just useful.
No, he's around the mark.
So Cameron on the board, and the Cats within a point. First goal of this second quarter. This isn't going too far out of this ruck contests. Davies toe pokes it forward. Now comes out towards the wing. Picking it up was McPherson. Sends a high ball inside the 50. Juggling attempt was Lukosius. Kicked the 1 goal in the first term. Didn't do a lot else, but here is a free kick. It'll go the Suns' way to Ben Ainsworth, I believe.
Didn't see that, Tom. I have to look. Just by the way, the Dangerfield's been a good pick up for the Cats.
Just handy.
Wella, one back here.
as we take a look at the Harvey Norman replay, just rid into the ground by Guthrie. A little bit stiff there, Zach Guthrie. Thought he did enough not to get into his back. But Ben Ainsworth with the shot on goal. 11 games last season, just the 8 goals, 3. He's into his 5th season now, I think, and he is the sort of player that they'll expect a big spike from, and something that they need are small, crumbing forwards. So here is Ainsworth, about 30 out, slight angle, and he's hung that out and it barely sneaks in for a score. Just through for one behind. 3-4-22 the Suns. The Cats are 3-2-20. Opening 5 minutes of this second quarter on Triple M.
Tui, the Irishman, to bring it back in. Went by hands, and in these conditions, that is a recipe for disaster. Suns have done really well to lock it in their forward 50, and Zach Tui just goes over to Isaac Smith and says,
"My bad.
That's on me. That is on me." So we'll have a boundary thrown inside the Suns forward 50. Cats with the only goal of the quarter so far. Jeremy Cameron, the former Giant, Coleman medalist. Ball spins back in. Witts v Stanley. Witts has had the better of that battle as Darcy McPherson's copped a high tackle, and he'll go back and have a set shot.
Which he often does, being a little fella on the ground. He tends to put his head in the correct spots for actually getting free kicks like that.
That was Libba's career as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tony Liberatore.
Yep.
That's a line.
Hey, if you're willing to put your head down and get amongst it down there, you're going to pick up a few.
15.
Does he have the journey, Darcy McPherson? Heavy conditions?
Yes. He's a good kick for a little guy.
Oh, McPherson on his way. A chance to stretch the margin out back to 8 points on the Triple M scoreboard. Played just over 6 minutes in the second term. Suns have led all night. He's pulled it to the top of the square. Now, we could argue that was on purpose, or we could suggest he didn't have the journey.
Move out.
All right, minor score, the Suns.
Kicked 1 goal 6 last season, Darcy McPherson.
My credit for
He's a big goal kicker then, Tomo.
Just the 11 games, though. He was sort of battling for that defensive forward position with Nick Holman, who was played more matches than Darcy last season, but they're fitting them both in their 2 pre-season games so far, as Smith come out towards the wing, intercepted by Ballard, gets it moving quickly onto the chest of a sliding Levi Casbolt, who was deep champs in the pocket here.
First crack at it here, Levi.
Yeah, he's certainly been involved a lot, bringing the ball to ground on a slippery night. 31 years of age, played 154 games for the Blues, and as champs said in the pre-match, good for a goal a game, 156. This is the area that can often let him down. Worked pretty hard with Sav Rocker back in the day at the Blues.
Not bad.
From the pocket, this looks good. Just missing there from Levi Casbolt. A good effort, peppering away here the Suns in his second quarter. And they move to 3-5-23. Cats are 3-2-20. And we are 7 minutes into this second term for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks.
Zach Guthrie to bring it in for the Cats. Goes long to the outer side, Metricon Stadium. Cameron and Close out there.
Geelong. Cameron.
If anyone can explain to me why Bradley Close is wearing a long sleeve jumper in these conditions.
Stand now.
Oh, Darryl White wore one for his entire career.
Yeah, that's true, and he played up here every week.
Some guys just like it.
Matty Lappin.
Lappin, yeah.
The Ox.
Nigel Lappin.
Cats working down the outer side. Hawkins big fly. Doing really well was Collins. They're always slung to the ground by Tomahawk. The way Tom Hawkins tackles, it borders on dangerous often because he's just so strong and powerful.
Yeah. And look, it used to be the only legal way of hurting someone back in the day is actually tackling them hard to the ground. That's been ruled out now, which is a good thing with concussion, etc. So, but some players still just out of the line, I reckon.
As Noah Anderson pinged for the 3rd time in this game, holding the ball. Guthrie, the tackler, 65 out. He'll measure that to Joel Selwood, who was in the ruck for that throw up there somehow against Witsy, and still managed to halve the contest. And he's going to spear a pass in towards the pocket off about 3 sets of hands. Radagalair tried to tap it back in, and they're slipping and sliding over in that left forward pocket. Cats attacking in. They trail by 4 points.
Tom, Jared.
What have you made of this start to the second term so far, Champs?
Well, pretty evenly poised at the moment, Flanners, I would have thought. Cats, though, just looking a little more steady than they were in that first term, that's for sure. Here's another shot on goal.
Yeah, quick snap on goal came from Cam Guthrie. You heard the umpire's call, touched off the boot, went through for a minor score anyway. So 1-2 the Cats, they move to 3-3-21. Trailing the Suns 3-6-24, Triple M scoreboard. 9:15 played second term.
Weller to bring the ball back in, playing across half back, and that's a really risky kick. Goes to Witts, offhand, Narkle front and centre, set upon by 3 Gold Coast Suns. And McPherson is awarded the free kick. Wants to get it moving quickly out wide. Ainsworth slipped through his fingers. He's got enough support there. They weren't sure who was going to shepherd though. Picked up now by Ainsworth, and that's a good disposal. Gets it off to Fiorini. Now to McPherson, who's run on into the pocket. Chol trying to protect the space, and it drifts out and over for a boundary throw in right forward pocket. Suns attacking in.
Yeah, their last couple of
Jared. On the meter, Jared.
forays, I guess, for the Suns have been over in that right-hand pocket. It's just not an ideal place to come in from trying to kick goals. I'd much prefer them to try to centre the ball from coming in from half forward.
Boundary umpires have not adjusted the conditions. The boundary throw-ins are falling short consistently at the moment tonight. Selwood gets it out of defensive 50 for the Cats, bobbling around at true centre half forward, tapped forward towards the corridor, steaming through nicely was Powell. Put it out in front of Fiorini. Took Miller straightens up the attack, runs directly at goal. Misses to the right-hand side, minus score. So a few opportunities gone begging for both sides. Suns move to 3-7-25, a 4-point lead over the Cats, 3-3-21. 10.5 played, second term Triple M scoreboard.
The Cats were more defensive, I think, in that first quarter. They look like they've got a bit more confidence to run forward of the footy now. That sometimes happens when you come to the Gold Coast. Just your head's not quite in the game. Takes a quarter to get into it. Looks like they're finding their feet now.
Nick Stevens, his first touch coming on for Jed Hughes. Looks like his night is done with concussion. So we're back to Stevens. We'll get his second touch. Sends that ball up towards the wing, where Caleb Graham comes through, just grazed off his knuckle if it barely touched it, and the Cats have moved it up towards left half forward. 3-7-25, 3-3-21. The Suns lead one goal in this term, and that was to Jeremy Cameron.
Jared Witts v Hawkins. He's come wandering out of the 50, the big tomahawk. Witts just aside. You don't often see that, as Took Miller's handball missed his hand. The conditions playing a part so far. Miller got the footy back, wheeled around corridor. Heavy collision, quick hands from Powell. Fed it out to Ainsworth. He lays the ball on the deck, which is brave. Slippery conditions. The kick was to nobody in particular. In fact, Reece Stanley's going to get there first for the Cats. Just dump it back down the line to a one-on-one. Swallow v Atkins. Atkins wins out. Higgins was running but had nobody ahead of him, so has to go backwards to Guthrie.
And they work that ball up towards the wing, but it's a really poor kick, and read well there by Sam Collins, who rushes up and takes the mark. Almost on the wing. He sends it up the line towards Casbolt, who created a contest, 1 against 2, and then crashes right into young De Koning. Still in the field of play, picked up by Alex Davies, swings that over his left shoulder, read well off the boot there by Zach Tui, playing in front of Isaac Rankin, who's been quiet in this term, and he advances the ball, still inside the defensive 50. He's found Cooper Stevens.
Reece Stanley just playing a really important role at the moment for the Cats. He's playing a kick behind the play, and that's why they struggled to try to find someone in their forward 50, the Suns, in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Blitzarves too tall, too fast for Brandon Ellis. Handed it corridor. Atkins. Cats are out on the outer side, streaming. Holmes plays on quickly. Tomahawk ahead of the footy. Decided to leave it for Cameron, but Cameron decided to leave it for Hawkins. And in the end, the boundary line wins out. We'll have a boundary line inside the Cats forward 50. Brandon Ellis, haven't seen a lot of him tonight, champs. What are his numbers on Triple M Red Z Lending Stats?
Hasn't done much at the moment, Brandon Ellis. Just the 4 kicks and well, that's his 4 disposals at the moment. He's had 3 marks, but recently haven't spotted him.
Hawkins creating space at the back. Higgins, great hands to Narkle. Flying shot at goal from Quinton Narkle is through. And finally, we get our second goal of the quarter to a man who should play a fair bit of footy this season, Quinton Narkle. And the score, Gold Coast 3-7-25, Geelong 4-3-27. And they get a goal from a boundary throw-in. And Tom Hawkins did that superbly there, Chance, just to create space behind him.
Yeah, he does it often, doesn't he? He's just that big build. And there was a couple of players, and he actually went a second effort too, which really set up a loose player, and Narkle just spotted it on the ground, picked it up brilliantly, and didn't have much time to have a look at where the goals were. Just knew where they were and slotted. So all of a sudden, Cats got the lead for the first time in this game.
It's been an incredibly prolific career for Tom Hawkins. 302 games, 665 goals. I mean, for the last 12 years, he has been the dominant power forward in the competition.
Yep, absolutely. And if he doesn't, as I mentioned sort of pre-game, if he doesn't mark the ball, he always brings it to ground. He rarely gets outmarked.
Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Here's Matty Rao getting a clearance for the Suns inside forward 50. Casbolt could have been shoved from behind. Umpire said play on. Quick release kick from Tui. That's going to be intercepted by Swallow. A chance for the former Sun skipper. Measures his options. Goes to Brandon Ellis. Here he is. Looking for just his 5th disposal of the game. Some stationary targets. Opts to drop it long to the top of the square. Where's Casbolt? Huge fly from Blitzarves. That's why we couldn't see Casbolt. He was on the deck. He'd been used as a step ladder. And we'll have a boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Suns.
Just gone back to careful footy, I reckon, at the moment, the Suns. Again, there was a couple of shorter options on there. They've got the skill to actually hit those targets, but they seem to have lost a bit of confidence.
Yeah, just going to Casbolt, aren't they? Normally in a pack as a Chol rushing out was held as he read that. Again, another shallow throw-in as you mentioned, the boundary umpire, just maybe in the humidity, those balls are falling short.
Yeah, spot on, Tomo. He read the ball was coming in short. He rushed in there, and Reece Stanley was panicking a little bit, getting caught behind and gave away the free kick.
So this will break a run of 4 goals in a row for the Cats. Chol kicked one in that first term. Turns his back on the play. Will take his full 30 seconds. We're under 10 now. And he lines up the big sticks. About 30 out on an angle. 31 games with the Tigers. 10 last year and 7 goals. He's got a pretty relaxed routine and massages that on the left, but barely scrapes in for a behind. And Gold Coast still looking for their first goal of this term. They advanced to 3-8-25 Cats, 4-3-27 with 9 minutes remaining in this half of footy.
We might get down to Belinda Mellon very shortly on the boundary line as Tui brings it back in, and it's going to be intercepted by Will Powell, who's been strong to start this game for the Suns. Just curious to know what Shannon Neal, the Cats' other ruckman, is shaping up, because Reece Stanley does not look confident on that leg as Rankin went for the impossible and he's given away a free kick. Keep an eye on Reece Stanley out there, champ.
Yep.
He is proppy as can be on that right ankle. And you just question the worth in keeping him out there for an extended period of time as the Cats look to bring it near side at Metricon Stadium. Selwood in a one-on-one battle against Weller. It was just too strong for Lockie Weller, the experienced Cats skipper. Goes corridor. Nice kick, picks off Tui. The Irishman takes off and runs.
And he does, and he's found an open teammate in Guthrie over the top. Just held up a little bit though. Higgins wants to handball, Tui wants to handball over the top. Instead, he'll centre that ball to the wing to his skipper in Selwood. The Suns getting numbers back though. Trying to plug some holes, so the Cats will switch it. They'll go into the centre square at Metricon. Nick Stevens. Now, he will switch it even further to the Koning. Looking over the top towards Atkins. Had plenty of the footy. I think he's the leading possession getter for the Cats, but he doesn't pick up the footy, and the Suns are away up towards the wing.
Lukosius, haven't seen much of him since he kicked the first goal of the game. Beautiful kick in the corridor. What about that? Just picking out Fiorini. Threaded the kick. Fiorini does the same. Spot-up kick inside forward 50. Nick Holman, 20 metres out. Not much angle to speak of.
Better use, better patience by the Suns on that occasion. They did have one out all over the ground once that turnover happened, but they didn't just panic and kick to a one-on-one. They waited, they were patient, and they spotted a couple of targets and waited for someone else to go down there, so they were 3-on-2 in their forward 50.
You see the value of Jack Lukosius' foot skills on that occasion. By playing them deep forward, as they intend to this year, do they lose a bit of that chance?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, he's good with the footy, isn't he? Very versatile player.
Holman, just a hard-working footy player. Not brilliant certainly not Jack Lukosius by foot. He's pushed that to the left-hand side, minus score. 3-9-27, the Suns, 4-3-27, the Cats. We've got a level ball game at Metricon.
Belinda Mellon, B, what's happening on the boundary?
Cats doctor just went out to Reece Stanley, had a long chat with him, or quick chat with him out on the ground, and came back, has reported to the interchange bench with lots of head nodding that he is, in fact, okay and will stay out there.
Flunness has been on that. We'll keep an eye on him right now because he's coming up to this ruck contest against Marvia Chol. Elbow into him. Guthrie runs away from the contest and outside of the right boot, he just thumped that into the middle to no one in particular. Races on. Ballard got the shepherd there from McPherson on Francis Evans. Ballard thumps that long as Stevens coming across on Casbolt. 3 Cats crunching to the former blue. Rankin, clever kick around the corner. Holman just slipped the mark. Out of bounds right forward pocket chance.
Yeah, look, I think Stanley, the positive thing about what he's doing is he's taken the ruck work anywhere from centre back, and then he's just remaining as the loose guy in defence. So he's not doing a heap of running, so maybe that's part of the plan as well.
All right, boundary throw in. Triple M Red Z lending stats. We might get the numbers for the ruck battle. And Stanley do battle. Joel went to second and third effort. Dangerfield cleared the territory for the Cats. Sent it long. Cameron in a contest against Graham. Been good, but Caleb Graham, so too is this man, Will Powell. Got the handball working forward to Holman. Holman loves a tackle. Turned the footy over just so he could lay one. Close. Parfitt spun into trouble, holding the football. Surely umpire. And it will be a free kick to Braden Fiorini. No!
Over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder. Parfitt lucky there as we have a look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. He just might have pulled a Joel Selwood slip of the shoulder. Cats with the footy.
And Parfitt coming back from off-season hamstring surgery. And gets that ball into Cooper Stevens, who's looking for the switch of play to De Koning. Two players are yet to debut for the Cats, combining. And here's a third in Nick Stevens. Well, that's going to bounce away from him on the slippery turf at Metricon, and poor kicking there from the young Cats in defence. Richard Champion, Triple M Cedar Super Special points.
Triple M Red Z lending stats as far as the hit-outs are concerned. Witts 14 v Stanley 8.
Jared.
So Witts on top.
And he's going to go against Asava Radigalia here. As we have a look, Reece Stanley might be taking a chop out on the bench. Asava Radigalia, let's see how he goes against Jared Witts. Big Witts, he takes front spot. That's a lovely tap down. Midfielders couldn't take the footy for him. Parfitt gave it up. Miller never does. Handball forward, Lukosius. Quick hands, Anderson to Rao. The two good mates. Rao with the kick inside forward 50. It was a difficult one to mark for Close, and he couldn't do it. Got the handball back. Chip and kick. Anderson going to be a free kick downfield. Dangerfield will look to play on. He's got Guthrie on the outside.
Goes to Guthrie now, waiting for an option to present up toward him.
Watch behind me, please.
Suns have got numbers back. Stengel's lead was ignored. I haven't seen a lot of Tyson Stengel tonight, but Suns have been... They'll probably still be leading the inside 50 count. Maybe not in this quarter, though. Stengel now gets a hand to it. Slips away from Hawkins. Picked up by Collins. That ball went further upwards than it did forwards. Off hands. Now Witts will come through. Picks up the loose footy. Did well, the big man. Weller needs to get on his bike. It was touched off the boot of Collins. Coming through was Matty Rao. Starting to get a little bit more of the footy after a quiet start to the second term. And a mark under pressure from Ellis. Almost to 50 against Guthrie.
Corridor kick. Anderson had a heap of it in the first quarter. Starting to find a bit now in the second. Ainsworth, he's 60 from home. Calling for the players to lead corridor, fat side. He wants the kicks to go in that direction. He runs to 50, launches goalward. He's going for the top of the square. Levi flies, Rankin at the full. So too Atkins. He stepped back inside and nicely read from Max Holmes. And we'll have a boundary throw in next to the right hand point post. Scores are level, 27 points apiece.
Tomo, you asked the question. Triple Ed Renzed lending, 33-14. Gold Coast lead.
Yeah,
they've doubled their inside 50s.
They need to make more of it, don't they? They've kicked 6 behinds to 1-1 in this term. Tapped forward by Witts as a Miller diving over and through for a rush behind. So 3-10-28 they move to the Suns, and the Cats are 4-3-27 finals. We've got just over 4 minutes remaining in this first half of footy.
And I reckon the boundary throw-ins are going an average of 5 metres into the field of play tonight.
They're going 30 high and 5 in.
So if I am Jared Witts, Reece Stanley, Asava Radigalia, I'm going to take a few steps in on the next one as Isaac Smith goes to the outer side. Radigalia manages to keep it in the field of play. Quick kick forward for the Suns. What about the clean hands from Holman in slippery conditions? Ucks around, spearing pass, and a sliding mark taken by Fiorini, who have a shot at goal. 40 out.
Let's clear it out, guys. Thank you.
Nice piece of play. Again, just being patient, waiting for something to present. Lowered the eyes last minute, and Fiorini was there, and he was under pressure. It was a contested mark at the end of the day. And the kick had to be spot on, but that's what they need to do. They have been blasting
15
top of the goal, and just recently their last couple of inside forward 50s have been a lot better.
He has gone a long way back for the run-up here. He's on Ben Brown type territory. He started the run-up. He'll kick in about 30 seconds' time. Just crossing the 50 arc is Braden Fiorini. Launches. Lovely kick off the boot. He's missed to the right-hand side. Minor score. The Cats' inaccuracy, or I beg your pardon, Suns' inaccuracy is starting to become a problem. 3-11-29 with 3 minutes to play in the second term on the Triple M scoreboard.
14 scoring shots to 7, and there's been quite a few easy ones as well, Flanners. Like they're not snapshots and quick shots or shots from right on the boundary.
Yeah, it's become contagious as a Close and Collins, but there's a free kick to Patrick Dangerfield against Brandon Ellis, who throws his hands up. You can't believe it, but that goes against the two-time premiership Tiger for holding on to the Brownlow medalists.
Come around, Paddy. Patrick. Time back on. Stand.
Remember the Fox Footy production team has to throw that back to Paddy, and he plays on now and advances that ball towards half forward. Radigalea flying in from the side. Evans there at the front. Anderson waiting for it, turning into the tackle of Selwood. Was taken high. Oh no.
High fend off. No, he's been pinned for a high fend off, Tomo.
And he's going to move it on quickly. Here is Guthrie. Will he have a shot on the goal in the right forward pocket? It's drifting back. That is a magnificent goal from Cam Guthrie. Against the run of play is that the Suns couldn't buy a goal. The Cats go up the other end and slot a difficult one from the pocket. Guthrie 5-3-33 Geelong. The Suns 3-11-29.
Well, they certainly had more of the ball, the Cats, more so in this second term than the first, but they're slowly getting on top in all areas, and that's the inaccuracies really costing the Gold Coast Suns. But Radigalea, just the one handball so far, so hasn't played a huge part in the forward line for the Cats like we thought he would tonight, but he is presenting, he is contesting, and that does allow for the likes of Guthrie to swoop around and pick up one here and there, and it was a beautiful finish.
Richard Champion, the one-time glamour fullback of the AFL. Triple M Seawell super special comments.
Why was it glamorous?
You were just a glamorous player, Champs. High flying, locks flowing. If you had to bestow that title upon a player in the game right now, is there anyone who comes close? Maybe Aaron Norton. Maybe the astronaut at the Dogs.
Okay.
Ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater.
forward.
Triple M Rocks Footy. He's a forward, exactly. There's not many glamorous defenders these days, Champs. They broke the mould when they built you. Suns with another clearance, Matty Rao. It'll be sight for sore eyes seeing Matty Rao back hunting the footy out of stoppages. Cats have got the free kick. Selwood to Dangerfield. How many times have we called that over the years? Over the top to Isaac Smith. He's something of a new addition. Peeling inside forward 50 now. The fly from Cameron. No, he couldn't get up and about for it. And the ball fisted away from Caleb Graham, who's had an outstanding game so far deep in defence for the Suns.
Caleb Graham, just the 3 touches on the Triple M Red Z lending stat sheet, but he seems like he's been around the mark and just providing other options for them, doesn't he? Not just on the stat sheet.
Radigalea and Witts both got a hand to it. Alex Davies coming through, getting down low. Swallow to Miller, now into Nick Holman. Again, just dropped the mark, but he's got Miller running through the middle here. They link up well, and they get it going forward, but that's a really poor kick. A hurry kick finds Zach Tui, who switches the play to Collar-Jasny for McDonald's. Score enough to feed the whole family. Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack flanners.
Cats with the footy, called to play on. Tui with some dash. Holman doing what he does best. Pressure acts. And again from Fiorini. What a spinning tackle there on Guthrie. Now loose in the Suns forward 50. Fiorini again. You'd think he'd be rewarded with a free kick. In the end, Anderson with the football. Spot up kick. Easy mark taken. And the Suns will get a shot at goal through Rankin. But teammates get to Braden Fiorini. 2 huge efforts from the midfielder.
It's just good pressure, isn't it? And they had the numbers there in the forward 50. That's what Stewie Jew would have liked. Just keep the ball inside the forward 50 with pressure. Rankin really needs to finish here.
Yeah, he seems somewhat in between kicking straight or going around the corner. In the end, he goes for the Stevie J and didn't really kick either, Champs. And he's pushed it to the right-hand side.
And he just got to choose and commit to it, Flanners, and he just didn't seem to do that. He seemed very indecisive.
Minor score, Cats 33, Suns 30 points.
As Collar-Jasny brings that boundary side, Radigalea flying, and that's almost had that for long enough, but not paid. And that ball goes out of bounds. So you've got just under 30 seconds left, the Suns, to launch a score from half forward. Otherwise, they're about to end the second term goalless. They've kicked 9 behinds. Boundary throw-in. Again, shallow. It's Witts. Got it with the left hand. Miller left it for Davies. Bending over the footy was Guthrie. Stood up and tackled by Davies and Miller. Umpire will rush in and will throw it up. They need to get a clean hit out here to somebody on the run here, the Suns. Witts with his back to goal does flip it over his head. Dangerfield going in with the right hand. Holman going in low. Dangerfield wraps him up in the big bear hug. The umpire will rush in again and getting pretty close here to half-time, Flanners.
10 seconds left.
3 straight to the Cats in this quarter. Suns have not managed to register a major, but geez, they've kicked some behinds. 3-12, 30 points the Suns. They trail the Cats 5-3-33, and that'll be the score at half-time as the siren sounds for the main break here at Metricon Stadium. The AAMI Community Series between the Gold Coast Suns and the Geelong Cats. The Suns led at quarter time, but it's been all the Cats since, and they have a 3-point lead, 33-30 at the main break for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Install the Ream.
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
In 2022, Triple M footy is bigger than ever.
'Cause I want it now!
Every mark, every goal, every massive moment.
He's won the game! Can you believe it?
On air and on the listener app.
Oh, it's red hot!
It starts March 16 with the grand final rematch between Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs.
Melbourne, break the drought!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Is it time to switch your home loan? Athena Home Loans now has one of the lowest fee-free variable home loan rates in Australia. And our customers are saving thousands. Low rates and no fees. Two of the ways Athena is helping Aussies pay down their home loans faster. Check out athena.com.au to see how much you can save. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Tradies, at National Tiles we know how extra valuable your time is in this current building boom, so we've streamlined how quickly we can serve you. Just go online and order from thousands of National Tiles, adhesives, grouts and tools for immediate delivery or pickup. No waiting, no delays. Yes, at National Tiles our tradies are our VIPs, where we consistently strive to save you time and money every day of the year.
Can my landlord say no to a dog?
Do I need a lawyer if I have to go to court?
What happens if I go bankrupt?
Hi, I'm Amy Dow from the Law Society, and I get it. There are a lot of questions about the law. That's why in my new podcast, I chat with legal experts to get the answers in language that you will actually understand. No jargon, just straight to the point answers on everything, from neighbourly disputes to how much a lawyer might cost you. Search Lawfully Explained where you get your podcasts and download the Listener app now to listen for free.
Listener.
Finding the right person for the job can be tricky at the best of times. That's why a Seek job ad is loaded with features. It lets you see a candidate's verified credentials, like their driver's license, so you can find the right person for the job. Think of it as an extra pair of hands. The best job ads find the best people. Visit seek.com.au/best job ad.
As part of Victoria's Big Build, we're removing 85 dangerous and congested level crossings, with 58 already gone, creating thousands of jobs and making your journey safer and easier. As we bring the pieces together, buses will replace trains on the Pakenham line between Dandenong and Pakenham from the 10th to the 21st of March. There will also be roadworks around Hallam and Pakenham with detours in place. If you're affected, at bigbuild.vic.gov.au, authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Here comes the all-new Kia Stonic SUV. Step up into the latest SUV on the block and see it all with an elevated ride height. Packed with a turbocharged punch, up-to-date smart tech, striking two-tone colour range. Hold up. And Australia's best 7-year warranty? The all-new Kia Stonic SUV. You up?
Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Half-time at Metricon Stadium, and it is the Cats leading by 3 points, but certainly the Suns would feel that they should have the lead at half-time. They kicked 9 behinds in that second term, and the Cats kicked 2 goals, 1. The goal kickers at half-time, Chol, Holman and Lukosius, all in that first quarter for the Cats. Cameron, Guthrie with a beautiful goal in the pocket, Selwood, Narkle and Dangerfield have 1 each. Brett Thomas, Liam Flanagan and Richard Champion to talk through that opening half of footy, champs, and the Suns certainly had enough opportunities, but so many of them wasted.
Yeah, they did. Their shots on goal just weren't good enough. They just didn't seem to concentrate from a I guess, from a guy that's sitting up in the stand at the moment. A couple of kicks were lent back on. Isaac Rankin really didn't commit to what sort of kick he was going to produce there on goal. And look, when you've got a few of their big players out, they just need to make the most of every opportunity. They didn't seem to do that. Seemed to lose a little bit of hunger from the first quarter. They were up and about. They were put a lot of pressure on. It came in bits and pieces in that second term, but the Cats certainly improved. I think that's what you have to take. And you can only play as good as your opposition allows you, and the Cats certainly played better in that second quarter. Witch is on top in the ruck, 19-9 against Stanley as far as hit-outs is concerned. Clearances 22-15 in favour of the Suns as well. So they're way on top in the middle. But what I've seen is that a couple of their midfielders just aren't making the most of those hit-outs, and they're just not reading it as best as they should have. So I think sort of struggling in the middle a little bit, and then sort of going forward. They're going wide. They've just got to sort of be a little bit more patient and sort of hit up inside the forward 50, something a bit more square on to the goals. But and the big boys really haven't come into it as far as the Cats are concerned at the moment. You know, there's still room for improvement. Radigalia has only touched it once. Hawkins is providing great contest, but not dominating on the scoreboard. So I think there's improvements from both areas to come.
Now, in terms of the big men for the Suns, they've gone to Levi Casbolt a lot in contested situations. They've gone to him 7 times, Marby Chol 4, Jack Lukosius just a 3. Do they need to be a little bit more precise with their inside 50?
Well, look, Jack's playing up the field a little bit more as well, so he's probably not in that position sort of in front of goals to be one of those targets that they'd be looking for. But you know, we have seen them clash a couple of times, so I reckon Stewie Jew might be wise to just say, boys, just keep apart a little bit, give some options. They seem to be going to the one spot all the time or going wide. So what it does do is spread their defence as well, spread the Cats' defence if they stay apart. So I'd be looking to try to... look, it's pre-season. Everybody wants a mark. Everyone wants a kick. Everyone wants the footy, right? So it's almost that bees to a honeypot scenario where they're all hungry for the footy, but you've just got to play unselfish footy at times, and that'll come throughout the season when you spread the workload around. But I reckon you've got to start that now. Start good habits.
Talk about starting good habits, and I want to go back to that Isaac Rankin kick at goal late in the quarter, because those are the goals that Isaac Rankin, not a high disposal getter of the footy at this stage of his career, who knows where he goes to later on, but those are the goals that I know it's pre-season, but imagine if you're Stuart Jew, knowing that you've lost Ben King for the season, and knowing what a talent Isaac Rankin is, you would want him to at least have established a process of kicking at goal. And I know this is a it's an AAMI Community Series game where no doubt they want to get some fitness and get some processes locked in. But I imagine that Stuart Jew would want Isaac Rankin to take those opportunities to nail down his process for the season ahead.
Well, that's his bread and butter. I mean, he's on a 45-degree angle. It doesn't get much easier kicking one of those around the corner kicks than right there. So he should be nailing 9 out of 10. Maybe that was the 1 out of 10 that he was always going to miss, and he'll kick the next 9, Flanners. I don't know. But no, he's got to be kicking those goals. And you hit the nail on the head. He's not going to pick up 30 possessions in a game. He's going to pick up 10 or 12. And he needs to kick 3 or 4 goals from those 10 or 12. So, he needs to hit the mark there. There's no breeze, there's no wind, there's no difficult conditions. He needs to nail those. And a couple of players, as I mentioned, just leant back on the kicks. It's only about your last 3 steps when you come to kick at goal. That's all that matters. Just really concentrate on it, because goals are at a premium for Gold Coast, and they do tend to play in bursts. So when they do get those opportunities to kick goals, they've got to score them.
And from a Cats perspective, Tom Atkins has had plenty of the footy, and some of their other youngsters like Nick Stevens and Nick Cooper, who are yet to debut, have had the ball a few times.
Cam Guthrie's really come into it too in that second term, Tomo. Guthrie's on 15 possessions at the moment. Atkins, you mentioned, 16.
And De Koning.
De Koning, 14 touches as well. 5 marks to go along with that. So he's really coming into it. I've liked his game. Isaac Smith really come into it in that second term, just floating across the middle of the ground, just picking up possessions, and seems to be enjoying his footy. He's always got a smile on his face. So I like the way the Cats are going about it at the moment. The Suns, looks like their bench is coming out to have a bit of a run. Alex Sexton, yet to have a run, of course, is out there in front of us at the moment. A prolific goal scorer for their last 3 or 4 years. Alex Sexton, a very important player for them. Rory Thompson coming back for his first game in what, like 1,000 years?
Round 19, 2018.
Yeah. 2018.
Had multiple knee recos, and I mean they've had Ballard and Collins, the mainstays in defence. Caleb Graham coming through, but you can always use a bit of depth in that department. Half-time here at Metricon Stadium. It is a muggy night at Metricon. We are absolutely sweating buckets. I'm sticking to this pleather or leather chair, whatever material this is made out of.
I think it's leather.
No, I don't think it's real leather. No, definitely not. But it is hot and sticky here at Metricon, where the Cats lead by 3 points, 5-3-33 to 3-12-30 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
2018, a message in a bottle found in Australia is confirmed to have been adrift for almost 132 years.
What did it say?
The German message in a bottle. Brings a tarpaulin. I think you can still do a German accent. Has the world gone that mad?
I'm not sure how mad the world is.
It is very confusing. Out of that beautifully.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Haven't caught the Hamish and Andy podcast lately? You're missing out on some epic power moves.
Comes in from Luke. If someone you know has a baby and you find out the child's name, instantly make a Gmail account with the standard first dot last at Gmail email and offer it to them for a small fee or hold them to ransom. Up to you.
The Hamish and Andy podcast, brought to you, Amy. Great value cover you won't regret. Download the Listener app and listen for free.
Listener.
Tools, tools, tools! Sydney Tools! Sydney Tools Back to Work sale is on now! Estwing 20-ounce claw hammer now $79, save 11%! Milwaukee 18-volt fuel 10-piece combo kit just $29.9. Crazy deals on combo kits, hand tools, air compressors, laser levels, welders and much more! Makita 18-volt 3-piece combo kit now $9.99 and score a free blower! Sydney Tools, best prices guaranteed! Limited time only! Shop in-store online, sydneytools.com.au.
So I texted him back, I need the truth. I see you tapping on your phone in the morning, smiling ear to ear. You take your van on days I know that you're not booked for painting jobs and come back 8 hours later talking about holidays I thought we couldn't afford. His response? A van, a package and flexed arm emojis. What the hell does that mean?
Use your van to deliver packages with Amazon Flex. It's that something on the side you won't get in trouble for. Search Amazon Flex Vans and sign up now.
The 7-seat Isuzu MUX. Exquisite styling, exceptional tech, and when it's time to get off the beaten track, it's exhilarating. You can go your own way. With exceptional tech and off-road capability, plus a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, the Isuzu MUX range is extraordinary. Search Isuzu MUX.
Working in the cloud is a better way to build together. With Autodesk Construction Cloud software, the sky's the limit. Your team can design, plan, build and operate from office to field and connect workflows, teams and data at every stage of construction to help reduce risk, maximise efficiency and increase profits. Autodesk Construction Cloud, trusted on over 2 million construction jobs around the world. Try it free today. construction.autodesk.com.
For an epic sandwich, there is one ham to rule them all. Primo Ham. Unbelievably juicy, unfathomably succulent, and
Cut. You're not supposed to actually eat it.
Primo Ham hits the spot like and with the taste you've been waiting for.
Hello?
When you try it, you'll and from that moment forth,
Are you finished?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's start.
Primo Ham. It's primo.
Triple M rocks footy. This quarter for McDonald's. Score enough to feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack.
They're just waiting for the Suns and the Cats to come back out onto Metricon Stadium, where the Cats will start with a 3-point lead, 5-3-33. Gold Coast are 3-12-30. In terms of their starts to the season, the Suns begin with the Eagles away, the Demons here at Metricon, the Giants away, the Blues at home, and the Saints away. And for Geelong, they've got the Bombers at the MCG. In fact, 4 of their first 5 games are in Melbourne. They've got 3 at the G and 1 at GMHBA Stadium. The Bombers, Swans, Magpies, Lions and Hawks. But both sides, especially the Gold Coast Suns, need to get off to a good start just to take a bit of the pressure off Stewie Champs.
Oh, everybody does, I think, needs to take pressure off themselves. But they've got a couple of winnable games early doors, I think, the Gold Coast Suns. And historically they do often win a couple of early ones that you don't expect them to, and you go, oh, hang on. And then all of a sudden, a couple of injuries happen, and everyone sort of catches up, and it's not quite the season you think they're going to have. But historically, they do get off to a good start. So, what'd you say, West Coast round 1? Away, which is a winnable game, and they're not travelling great at the moment, West Coast, so it's probably the ideal time to come up against them.
For sure, yep. Then the Demons will be obviously tough, but here at Metricon Stadium, and then the Cats come up against the side that Mick Malthouse has tipped to win the flag. Essendon this year, which is a bit cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mick's tipped them to win the flag.
Yes. Yep. But as you said, Flanners, in the pre-match, there's a lot of teams who finished outside of the 8. You go, they're building, but then you need other teams to drop out. And the Bombers and the Swans were the surprise packets last year, and hard to see them dropping away in the likes of the Suns or the Saints or the Dockers.
And there's a team by the name of Richmond that didn't make finals last year that I think, if people are assuming that they won't fight for a spot in that 8 again.
Now, we had a little Sherby the other night.
We did.
And you're firing Port Adelaide right up there again, is that right?
Well, they finished, they were behind the minor premiers, and I think when you look at the development that they've got in Rosie and Dersma and Zach Butters, Georgiades with another year of development, Todd Marshall with another year of development. On the other side of that, Robbie Gray gets another year older, Trav Boak gets another year older, Charlie Dixon gets another year older, but I think that Ken Hinkley will have Port very much in the frame of challenging for the premiership this year. But again, you look at Melbourne, you would assume that all their troops return. You would look at Western Bulldogs, who would be looking to atone for what they put on in the grand final.
And your Brisbane Lions, I mean, Lockie Neal, Jared Berry, full pre-seasons, and they're both flying at the moment. And then you speak about some of the youngsters from the power like Butters and Rosie with growth in them. You got McCluggage and Bailey are still 23 years of age champs.
Yeah, of course. A lot will depend on Cam Rayner coming back too, and him being solid and fit for the year. I think a lot of emphasis will be placed on that. Joey Danaher needs to stand on. He played every game last year, which is fantastic. So Joey needs a good, strong year. Charlie needs to be good around the goals and just crumbing at his feet. So they've had a window for 3 years, the Lions now. That window is just starting to close. It's starting to slip down the old sashes, and you don't get too many more years where you get a crack at top 3 or 4. So they need to make the most of this next probably 2 years, maybe 3, of being consistent, a consistent team and having all of those players playing well. And as Flanners mentioned, these players get older every year, so you have to make hay while the sun shines, and they've got probably 2 years to do it.
And let's not forget the Geelong Cats here at late stages in the season were the premiership favourites. This is a team that finished third on the ladder, and when we look out there tonight and we see Dangerfield still running around looking like he could win a Brownlow, Selwood still running around fresh as after 300 games and closing in on the all-time captaincy record, as you mentioned, Tomo. And then these unsung midfielders in Guthrie and Mitch Duncan, who's not out there tonight, but who are so important and release these players. Gary Rowan's not out there tonight. Dowhouse, Smith, Higgins, Hawkins, Cameron. There is quality. There is so much quality within this Cats team. It would be, and we know Chris Scott can get them there. That's never been the knock on Chris Scott and the team he's prepared. Winning the thing, once they get there, has always been something of a challenge.
Scotty doesn't really seem to get serious until about round 13, 14. He just lets his team do their thing, and they're so experienced, they rarely miss out on finals. He just lets them do their thing, then he starts ramping things up, and the players just are aware of that. I reckon they'd be the easiest team to coach going around, and that's just because Chris Scott makes it easy.
Yeah.
It seems easy for him. He's just measured, he doesn't say anything unless he means it. He's passionate, but he's very measured in his approach to coaching, to the media. He just, I don't know, I've played with him, of course, and he's always been that way. He just knew there was something special about him. So he just lets his players do their thing, and he starts having a bit more of an input.
And has some new voices around him this season as well, in Josh Kelly, Matthew Egan, Lappin O'Brien, Greg Return, Eddie Betts is there as well. Let's go downstairs. Belinda Mellon, give us an update there. Jed Hughes looks like, no further part in the game.
Yeah, certainly not. He has concussion, and they are keeping a very, very close eye on him. He went to the back of the dugout in that second quarter, and the team doctor walked him down the race at halftime and then walked him back out again and sat him down. So he is under a very close watch. Reece Stanley, you'll be happy to know, is back out on the ground, and backup ruckman Shannon Neal, he still is in his training top, so his warm-up top, he has not been put into the game as yet. He did do some warming up, but that injury to Reece Stanley not obviously as bad as first feared.
Hey, B, just have a bit of a word to a couple of the Gold Coast admin guys, if you can. Just see if Alex Sexton and Roy Thompson don't get a run tonight, just ask what are their plans. Are they planning to play a little practice game tomorrow or something?
It's interesting, Champs. They were running around at halftime out there, and I've just noticed they have brought Ned Moyle into the game. He was out there warming up at halftime.
We can see why
taking the sub vest
on
off.
the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. We can see why Marby or Chol has an ice pack on the right hamstring. We might need you to check out the severity of that one as the ball's in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy to get this third term underway. Marby or Chol with a hamstring turn. You'd hope that it's just a little tweak and the ice is precautionary. But we'll get B to investigate that as we see Ned Moyle into the fray for the Suns, and the Suns look to chip it out of their defensive 50.
Yeah, that's really disappointing for Marby Achol, already losing Ben King for the season. Ned Moyle gets his opportunity. Was a mid-season draftee, played handful of games for the Magpies VFL side and battled hard against Scott Lysett in their practice match last week. The Suns advance the ball up to the wing, ends up with Rowell, quick hands, Anderson into Miller, pinged holding the ball, just held on to it for a fraction too long, and the Cats will take the advantage, Flanners.
Long searching kick from Tui, Dangerfield with the spot, nicely taken by Charlie Ballard. It is a nice defensive group that the Suns have got when you look at Ballard and Graham and Collins. And Lockie Weller, if he's going to come off half-back as well, with some quality by foot as Ballard goes to the outer side. And that's why you want Lockie Weller kicking the footy, because Ballard has sent it over the boundary line. So boundary throwing outer side.
Given the size of him as well, Flanners, like he's very slight, Charlie Ballard, but he's courageous and he tends to bat overs when he's in a strength contest.
Yeah, good mark of the footy. They've got Connor Butterick, their small defender, coming back from an ACL as well. Sean Lemons took his spot. He's done well on Tyson Stengel, who's been quiet tonight. How about the agility there from Miller, who gets around one, sends it up towards Casbolt, hit the pack pretty hard. You heard the oohs and the ahs, and now they're going to attack, looking for Holman over his head and Guthrie, but Holman just got him over the shoulder. The Cats will take the advantage and come out wide.
Cats coming down the near side of Metricon Stadium, searching kick. Hawkins in a one-on-one v Graham. Hawkins just too big and strong on this occasion. We'll get down to Belinda Mellon in a moment as Hawkins spins around, sends it on an arc. Jeremy Cameron, easy as you like. He'll go back for a set shot. 25 metres out, tight angle. B, down on the boundary. Have you got an update on Chol for us?
That is certainly very much just precautionary, the club has said, and he certainly looks quite relaxed sitting here on the boundary.
All right, very good news for the Suns. Marby Chol, just precautionary with some ice on the right hamstring. Meantime, Jeremy Cameron spins around, slots the first of the third quarter, and it is his second of the evening, and the 6th straight goal for the Cats. And that is why they lead the margin by 9 points. 39 plays 30 on the Triple M scoreboard.
Well, the beauty of moving the ball quickly, Flanners, is you've got a couple of big forwards like that, and I think he realised that and identified that really quickly, did Hawkins, and he did wheel around very quickly and was able to set up Cameron, and Ballard just couldn't get back quick enough. And that's how you kick goals around the corner. He didn't muck around. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he was quickly onto it that the players weren't aware he was going to play on. He actually gained himself probably another 5 or 6 degrees advantage in front of goals.
Oh, geez, Stanley read that well. Just moved around Witts, took it clean out of the ruck. Cats go up towards centre half forward. Rowell tackled strongly by Narkle. The umpire will rush in, still in the centre square, and will throw it up as they all close in around this contest. Selwood's waiting for it there with Miller. Anderson had a lot of the footy in the opening half. Max Holmes gets another clearance, and there is another intercept mark taken by Charlie Ballard deep in defence.
Goes corridor, finds Anderson. Has not had a problem finding the footy tonight. Weller, slick hands, finds Powell to Miller. Handball for the Suns now. They've worked it all the way out. Miller wants Rankin, just caught behind. The kick really did him no favours, as it asked him to come forward when he was leading backwards, and we'll have a boundary throwing right half forward for the Suns. You can just see that is where you'd love to have a Ben King leading up towards the footy. Instead, they had to go searching for Isaac Rankin. Ball spins in. That's a better deep throw coming from the boundary umpire. Atkins fell on top of Selwood. It'll be a free kick to the Cats skipper.
He'll take that at right half back, and he's looking corridor for this kick. And this is the change in their play this season. Rather than looking for a string of uncontested slow marks, they're a little bit more direct. Here is Jeremy Cameron, and that's a beautiful kick. Numbers streaming forward, catching the Suns' defence napping, and Luke Dalhouse has taken the mark. Teammates screaming for it. Champs, was it against Collins there? For
no, I reckon it was against...
Powell?
I reckon it was against Ballard. Ballard comes screaming in to try to, I guess, pick up another player. He's sort of raising his arms to say, I'm not sure why, but I reckon he might have infringed on the player's area.
As Dalhouse kicks the easiest of goals, Cats get their second of this third term. They kick away to 7-3-45. The Suns are 3-12-30. For McDonald's, score enough to feed the whole team. Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack. How many sauces would you need for that, Champs?
Not a big fan of sauce. 2.
Ooh.
Just a little,
2 sauces.
Just a little dip one, mate. That's all we need.
Okay, we need something to wash it down with then.
In fact, it could have even been Will Powell who infringed. Look, it probably didn't affect the player and Dowhouse's ability to kick the footy, but you encroach in that area, you're going to give away free.
Realistically, you need 6 to 7 sauces for a forward pack.
So
6 to 7 sauces.
Sweet and sour.
Oh, correct. Well, there is no other sauce.
Well, exactly. Why offer any others?
Exactly. McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy, ball back in the middle. Liam Flanagan and Brett Thomas calling all the action. Richard Champion on the Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Belinda Mellon down on the boundary, keeping us across all the injuries. Just reminding you that Marbia Chol is done for the evening. Just some precautionary ice on the right hamstring. Jed Hughes with a concussion. And the Suns with the footy. McPherson runs inside forward 50. Pops it to the top of the square. Lukosius is the man they want. Can't get it to him. Free kick picked out. It's going to the Cats. Going to be against Levi Casbolt. Blitzars or Selwood had to be brave, and he was. And they play on through the corridor.
And they are away here, the Cats, as they launch off half-back through Blitzarves. Goes to Dangerfield. Was he just tunnelled underneath the footy? No, it was Collins who got the push out. He was 2 against 1. And Sam Collins, the fullback for the Gold Coast Suns, wins the free kick. And he's just thumped that out wide to Lukosius on a long lead. That's what he needs to do, just get a little bit more involved in the action. He's a beautiful kick, Lukosius. Relaxed style toward the pocket. Guthrie just went into the back of a teammate, De Koning. Ball comes outside their defensive 50. And a nice strong mark taken by Blitzarves in front of Ellis.
Just really struggling to find some space in their forward line, the Suns at the moment.
Smith, not his best kick. Turns the footy over. Lukosius hands it off to Weller, running past. Lemons dropped the footy cold. Then he tried to pick it up, couldn't do so. McPherson just ragdolled by Radigalia. True centre half forward, Radigalia. Step through 1, 2, 3 tackles. Has to be holding the football. Ball up. Really felt like he took on 2 or 3 tackles there, Champs.
Not sure whether he actually gained possession of the footy, Flanners. That might be the only thing that favoured him.
As Rowell gets the handball out to Powell. And Rowell will come back in as Powell's handball was smothered. Now it is Powell who just picks it up, slaps it on the boot up towards
Dr.
Ullman.
Zeus book.
Now to McPherson towards the goal square. Blitzarves in front, ricocheted off the back of Isaac Smith. Isaac Smith gets it now in the pocket. And a high ball to a one-on-one. Delhouse, who just slaps that forward from behind of Weller. Selwood was strong in the hips, looking for Guthrie, going backwards, and now he has some safety in Guthrie, and he finds a target in Luke Delhouse.
Rowell and Powell, going to be a fun one for Suns fans later this year. Delhouse called the play on. Chips it up the line. Cameron with the launch. Graham got in front. Tom Hawkins getting called for a block for the second time in the space of 2 minutes. He's giving dirty looks, but he's not saying anything, Champs, and that's the important thing.
Absolutely. Just zip them out.
I don't think they can give 50s away for dirty looks. As Ballard goes long down the line, Blitzarves with a thumping fist. In fact, it was De Koning.
Oh, that's out.
Atkins just steps over the boundary line. We'll have the boundary thrown in front of the interchange gates. As we just look downstairs, we might get Belinda Mellon to keep an eye on Ben Ainsworth. He might just be a bit knackered, but he did look somewhat proper as he came to the boundary line. Boundary throw-in. Witts, Radaglia, Parfitt stepping back into traffic. Kick goes in the middle.
Yeah, he's looking for that corridor. It's a really high ball, though. Might come off too close. Slaps an awkward-looking ball up to centre-half forward. Bounced over the head of Dangerfield to Ballard. Classy through the traffic. And goes out wide. It was a contested mark in there to Noah Anderson. Triple M Red Set lending stats, champs. What's Noah up to now?
That's his 20th touch.
Plenty of the footy. Finds Fiorini.
Leading all comers.
He's off. He's played around. Corridor kick open. Swallow to Anderson. Here he is again. Can he slot a big one and it help the Suns? It's been a while. In fact, Lukosius! Guilty!
Second grab.
Took it on the way up, caught it on the way down. Jack Lukosius will go back to kick his second. And a bit of energy for the crowd on the outer side of Metricon Stadium as well.
15. This could be the first goal since the 23rd minute mark of the first term.
Lukosius around the body, got two. Suns get their fourth. They move to 4-12-36. Cats 7-3-45. A 9-point margin in favour of Geelong on the Triple M scoreboard as we have a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Champs, the Cats worked it through the middle. I don't think Anderson intended this to be a pass, but in the end it set up Lukosius beautifully.
Well, he kicked it and he's put his arms up and says, oh my God, that was a shocking kick. Lukosius a really good leap over the top of Smith and, as you said, took its second grab. So that's a secret. You've got to move the ball in quickly, and Anderson was running past. He kicked from 50 and just, I think, ran out of energy, ran out of ability to sort of kick the ball and prolong the ball further than what he needed to. But Lukosius read it well.
Yeah, good goal there from Lukosius. His second. The applause we just heard there through the mics was for Rory Thompson, who hasn't played since round 19, 2018. Multiple knee reconstructions. Good to see him out there. There is Ned Moyle on the ground for the first time. Wins the hit out too. But the Cats might get the clearance through Holmes. Now to Guthrie. Fast hands out wide to the runner in Isaac Smith. Thumps that towards the pocket. Hawkins doing the body work there on Collins, but a good fist coming from the side from Sean Lemons.
What was the last Ned you can remember playing the game of AFL?
Oh, nickname Ned.
Oh, well, Ned Kelly, obviously.
Yeah.
But actually
called
born
Ned.
We'll put our producer Jack onto that one.
Don't think I ever played with a Ned.
Boundary throw, and here is Ned going against Tomahawk. Quick kick out for the Suns. McPherson v Smith. McPherson went off the deck. Trickles into the centre square of Metricon Stadium. Wrapped up was Atkins. Managed to feed a handball out the back to Kolodjasny. He goes further defensively all the way back to the half-back line where he finds Cooper Stevens. And he goes wide and finds Evans,
who played 2 games last year, then hurt his ankle. We didn't see him again. Advances the ball. Nice kick into space for Kolodjasny. Gave a little bump to Swallow. Wants to get back and kick it to the advantage of his key forwards. Instead, sends it out wide to Zach Guthrie. He too drifting up from half-back. Again, the target was Collins. And again, Sean Lemons getting across to help out and fist that over the boundary line out of bounds.
How's this one for you? Ned McHenry for the Crows.
Still running around.
Ned and Tom, can you nominate?
They're multiplying.
It's a 100% increase on Neds. Boundary throwing inside forward 50 for the Cats. Parfitt could have been taken high. Slipped to his knees, said the umpire. All the way back to Towerhouse. He's already got one this quarter. It was in the second quarter, actually. Thompson fighting for it. Oh, a late pressure on Stengel. Came from Lemons by the look. He's picked up by his teammates. Will have another boundary throw. He's still inside the Suns forward 50. The Suns defensive 50. They trail by 9 points, 45 plays 36.
And big Netty, what a task this is on the bulk there of Tom Hawkins. Tries to get to the front, slapped forward by Tomahawk. Picked up by Fiorini. Kicks it over his right shoulder up towards Casbolt. Got hands to it in front of Brandon Ellis, who's had a quiet night. That ball goes over the boundary line, out of bounds, 55 out from...
Check in with Ned Watch.
We've just jumped 200%. Ned Reeves from Hawthorn.
There's another Ned. He's a popular name, more popular than what we thought.
Not as rare as I thought.
3 of them anyway.
Boundary throwing out of side. The Ned Moyes for the Suns. Wins the tap down.
I got one.
Ellis. Don't tell me we found a fourth Ned.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Swallow, his kick is going to bounce to the line. So we got Ned Reeves from the Hawks, Ned McHenry from the Crows, Ned Moyes at the Suns.
Yeah, Ned Carl from the Bombers.
It's just ridiculous
Starting
now.
to take the shine off the name, frankly.
Pretty much. It's just common as Smith.
Because a big Ned Moyle, who finds himself in the ruck with Marbia Choloff with ice on the hamstring, but just a precaution we heard from Belinda Mellon. Here is Brandon Ellis. Can't bring the ball under control. Eventually gets it into the path of Fiorini. Clever tap to Holman. Got it back to Fiorini. Now to Swallow under pressure outside of the right boot. Ends up as a shot on goal. Missing to the left and through for a behind. Gold Coast 4-13-37. Geelong 7-3-45. And we are almost 15 minutes into this 13.
Mind you, it's I think it's 1906 since the previous Ned played, Ned O'Connor.
So we got 4 Neds at the moment in the game, and the last one before that
1906
was 1906.
On the line.
Back in fashion. Holman with the free kick. Atkins spears it low. Strong lead. Big clash.
Push in the back.
I think Levi had eyes for nothing but damage there.
Well, Triple M Harvey Norman replay will show that up, I think.
Max Holmes looks like he's borne the brunt of it. Cats are going to play on quickly. Guthrie steps inside. He's a star, this man. Cam Guthrie. Hawkins wanted to body against Collins. Missed him. Stengel, long way from forward 50. Just wanted to find the Sharon. Big Ned rises high down. Swallow. Powell has got a man in some space in Atkins, the former Crow. Decides to just possess the footy. He's got Swallow really short. That's a good pass over the top to Noah Anderson. Picks it up off the bounce. Sends it towards right half forward. No one really letting up at him though. Ned Moyle did well to make that a contest. Alex Sexton just on the ground. He is a gold shark, that boy. Bounces in the goal square. It's still in for College Asney. Got it off to Zach Guthrie. And the Cats Flanners are out of danger. Sits in front of Evans. Powell pursues. Powell lays a ripping tackle. Holding the football. I think the boundary line might have saved Evans there.
Been good tonight, Will Powell, hasn't he? All around the ground, all facets.
The ruckmen are deep. Unsurprisingly, they have to race forward because the boundary throw-in is short. Moyles gets it working in the direction for the Suns. Holmes tried to keep it in. We'll have another boundary throw-in. Out of sight of Metricon Stadium. Cats lead 7-3-45 by 8 points over the Gold Coast Suns. 4-13-37. We've played 16 and a half minutes in the third term.
For Ream Hot Water, steady, hot and strong. Install the Ream. Suns by 7 at quarter time. Cats by 3 at the half. Boundary throw-in. Narkle did well to get past Matty Rowell. Turn up towards half forward. Again, Hawkins. The body work, but it was illegal according to the umpire. Just got Collins in the back. Was it there, champs?
Yeah, he can't believe it, Hawko. I think he was a little stiff.
Yeah, poor kick there as the Cats get it back. Evans looking for Parfitt. His handball was smothered. Now into the possession of Fiorini. Long handball into space. Looking for Weller. Well trapped, as you heard from Richard Champion, and that is a delightful handball into space. Fiorini on the left goes toward the pocket, looking for Casbolt. Forced to spoil. In front it goes to Guthrie. Sweating on him was Holman. Picked up by McPherson. Had Alice into space. Picks up the footy now. He'll square it back and did that beautifully to Jack Lukosius. Will line up for goal number 3.
We'll put that effort down to Lockie Weller, who went at it 4 times, Tomo. Our 4th effort, he finally was rewarded with the footy and set up an opportunity for a shot on goal for Jack Lukosius.
15 gone.
So there's 2 goals tonight. The only there's 2 multiple goal scorers on the ground tonight, but he could be a standout if he slots this.
Yeah, averaged 2.5 game during his national championship year as an 18-year-old. Last year of his contract, along with Isaac Rankin and, of course, Ben King. Right behind this one, straight through the middle. He is a beautiful kick, and this quarter will do his confidence the world of good. 3 goals for Jack Lukosius, and it is Gold Coast 5-13-43, trailing the Cats by 2 points, 7-3-45.
Yeah, once again, it's the pressure around the ground, which is what they brought in the first term. They're just starting to get back to that now in this third quarter. I'm not sure what Drew would have said to them at half time, but probably wouldn't have gone off the mark a little bit from, you don't want to get too serious about it, but they just want to tweak a few things and get better at a few things, and maybe pressure was one that he mentioned to them.
Triple M Red Z leading stats, champs. We know the Suns were +8 in the first term in inside 50. They were +12 in the second term in inside 50s. I imagine the Cats have pulled that back somewhat. in this third quarter?
Not really. I haven't got the third quarter right now, but 47-26 in total, Flanners.
Okay,
so Suns
are up
right on top.
by +1 in this quarter again. Not having trouble getting the footy inside forward 50. Converting. Oh, what about the shark from Noah Anderson? Another inside forward 50 contest.
Levi.
Casbolt couldn't clunk it. Holman is hunting hard. He wraps up Atkins in a tackle. Ball spills out. Levi tries to just barge through. Holman gets it. Quick hands out. No, he goes by foot. This all happening about 5 metres out from the Suns forward line. De Koning was caught with the footy. Casbolt was caught without it. Oh, Higgins almost threw it as he attempted to get it to Atkins. Clearing kick. Graham pushed in the back, surely. Umpire said didn't see it. Swallow around the body. Dalhouse, that was a throw. Quick hands. Stanley put the pressure back on Higgins. Didn't want it. Some tired-looking boys out there as we enter the latter stages of the third term. A spearing pass from Touk Miller. Finds Holman in some space. Just needs to pick it up cleanly. Tomo, take over. I'm knackered.
It is sapping heat here at Metricon as Davies over the footy. Slippery Sharon. Sexton screws it back. Here is Touk Miller. Here's a bit of class from Touk Miller. And he gets his first of the night. And the Suns have the lead back. They went goalless second term. Took them a while to find another one, but they've kicked a couple in a row. And the Suns moved to 6-13-49. The Cats are 7-3-45 champs.
Well, we know how important Jared Witts is to the Gold Coast Suns. He is leading the hit-outs at the moment. He's had 20 hit-outs, 50% of those hit-outs to advantage. So he's really given his on-ballers first look at the footy. I mentioned their clearances. They were also on top at half-time, but not really making the most of it after they've cleared the footy out of the centre square. But he is setting it up for them right now, giving them more opportunities, and Miller on the end of it. He will never miss a shot on goal from that far out. Just an outstanding year. His best year at the club last year, without doubt.
Suns started the game with 3 straight. Then the Cats hit back and kicked 7 straight. Now the Suns have kicked the last 3. If the pattern continues, we should see a run of 7 from the Cats here. But in the meantime, it's the Suns with a 4-point lead, 49 plays 45. Just under 7 minutes to play. Third quarter. McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Narkle. And we're about to see the start of the run of 7. Gives it to Holmes. Gives it to Tui. Distance not an issue for this man. Oh, beautiful smother came from David Swallow. And now the ball in dispute. Defensive 50. Holmes, another chance pursued by Swallow. Gets the hands back to Cameron. And another ripping smother from a diving, sprawling David Swallow again. What about that effort? 2 efforts from the former Suns skipper.
Yeah, no, he's a ripper. You would have him every day of the week in your team. He never gives up, never gives in.
Yeah, he's been so loyal to the Gold Coast Suns. That is team lifting stuff. It's a community series game, but he throws his body on the line. The Cats, though, get it going barely 15 metres toward their goal square. Picked up by Cameron. And a desperate lunge there from Miller. Probably saved that as a goal. That is out of bounds on the full. Rory Thompson will take the kick.
Spot on, Tomo. And the last bit of pressure from Miller.
Is this Rory Thompson's first touch?
It is indeed, yeah.
Let's have a listen for the small Suns crowd on the outer side as Rory Thompson gets his first touch in senior football since, what was it, round 19, 2018, Tomo?
Yeah, long time for Rory.
He played with that Ned guy in 1906 was his last game.
Here come the Suns, corridor football, like to see it. Popping out of the ground to take a good mark there. Miller coming through. Fiorini just needs someone to lead up at him at the moment. No one does. So he kicks to the pocket. I reckon that came off his knee. Went forward about 5 metres. Guthrie, he's going to put it out of bounds on the full. Free kick, Suns.
Yeah, they've lifted a bit, the Suns, haven't they? They've kicked 3 in this turn. The Cats have kicked 2. Fiorini to bring them back into play. Lemons has just checked on the field, along with McPherson as well. And he's going to swing that toward the pocket. Casbolt will fly from behind.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Here is Ned Flanders. Straight on the field. His name's not Ned, but they call him Ned. Sam Flanders on the ground. First touch as a goal outside of the right boot. And the Suns kick their 7th and 4th of this third quarter. 7-13-55 Geelong. 7-3-45.
Well, you can just see their confidence lifting, can't you, the Suns? And that's called scoreboard confidence. And all of a sudden you're back in front. You start to run forward a ball again when you're playing catch-up footy. You're just always a bit on the back foot, and you're not quite as confident to run forward of the footy because one more goal puts you further behind. But when you're in front, you've got a little bit of leadway there, so you tend to take a few more risks, and that's what's happening now with the Gold Coast Suns. I reckon their forward structure still needs improvement. I mean, they're not spotting up targets, they're not finding space, but they've got enough numbers there and enough class to actually finish off some goals when they come.
Let's go boundary side with Belinda Mellon. Beat.
A few unwelcome sights on the Geelong bench, boys. Patrick Dangerfield off, pointing to his left hamstring, getting that worked off. Joel Selwood went down to the rooms, emerged 2 minutes later in his tracksuit. I will inquire as to what the injury is there.
All right, fingers crossed. It's just management of the two senior stars of this Cats team, Dangerfield and Joel Selwood. Beantime ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The ball is in dispute. Centre wing, near side. Eventually Ellis stood up for the Suns. Guthrie, was he pushed in the back? Play on, said the umpire. A dangerous kick into the middle. Lands in the lap of Atkins for the Suns. Chips kick, wants Sexton, gets him. Nice bit of body work there on Zach Guthrie. And Alex Sexton, the sharpshooter, will have a set shot 30 metres out directly in front.
Well, that's the experience of Alex Sexton right there. He's not a big guy by any stretch of the imagination, but he was up against Zach Guthrie. He's got a couple of centimetres on him, but he just used his body really well, protected the drop of the ball and read it nicely. And this should be good for his confidence.
You spoke about the loyalty David Swallow shown to this footy club. Alex Sexton's another one. I reckon it was about 3 years ago he signed a big long-term deal, hoping that it would spark a bit of a flood as he goes back and nails his first for the evening, Alex Sexton. But he signed something like a 5-6 year deal when they were struggling to retain players, which would have been a huge mark of confidence for the club.
Yeah, it'd been a real barometer for them up forward. And look, last year he actually found himself out of favour. It was dropped a number of times, but he's kept his head in there, a bit like Fiorini, who couldn't get a crack until late in the season. But you know, he's an experienced player, 154 games, 150 goals. He knows where the goals are. And, you know, as you said, along with David Swallow, they've stuck fat here with Gold Coast through some pretty trying times, champ.
Yeah, and he's actually a match winner for them. Like, you'll find when they win games, he kicks 3 or 4 goals. So when he's a bit of a barometer for them up forward, I think. When he has a good game and he kicks his 3 or 4 goals, you know they're going to win the game. So he's an important player for them.
Absolutely. He slams through their 5th of this third term. The Suns are starting to kick away. Starting to get in through the big sticks when they kicked 9 points in that second term. Back in the middle. Picked up by Rowell along the deck. Clean bowls a few. Holman coming out. Trying to find McPherson and does find him. Kicks it out towards the pocket. Casbolt from behind. Oh, De Koning did that well. Just held up, let him run past him. Atkins has had plenty of the footy across half back, but ran himself into trouble. Guthrie is there in support. Holman got into his back. Umpire says throw it back in, 50 out from the Suns' goal.
There's that pressure again, and that's what Stewie Jew would be liking at the moment. Keeping that ball inside the forward 50.
Boundary throw-in. The ruckmen are about 30 metres inside the field of play. And this one, again, drops short. Coming through nicely was Atkins, the former Crow. Gave it to Rowell. He spun through a couple, back to Miller, back to the skipper Witts. He goes by hands, eventually finds Atkins again, a spearing kick inside. No mark taken. Darcy McPherson, beautiful pressure. Big Levi gets it to Holman, who dropped the soda. Had a goal with his name on it. Gets it Backsworth around the body. The Suns are hot. 6 on the trot for the Gold Coast Suns as they extend their margin to 22 points on the Triple M scoreboard. They worked it via hands there. They were patient. They took the right option, and Ben Ainsworth scores his first of the evening, champs.
Did indeed, and again they just peppering away at their forward 50, is putting a lot of pressure on the Cats, and they're handling it most of the time. It's just one little mistake can really be costly, and that's what happened on that occasion. So you've got the numbers in your forward 50, and a little bit of panic sets in. They have got some experience off at the moment, the Cats, though. We mentioned Dangerfield and Selwood currently off the ground, so that will hurt them. But the Suns just need to keep working. They probably should have had a goal earlier. Actually, there was a fumble there.
Hang on.
They've made the most of it.
As Paddy Dangerfield comes back on the ground, and we'll start on the wing here against Brandon Ellis. They've thrown Cooper Stevens, Max Holmes is in there in the middle, so they've thrown a bit of youth in the centre bounce in this term. The Suns through Rowell and Miller have been getting first use through Witts. Great hit out right into the path of a running Fiorini. Sends him into attack once again as Ned Moyle is up in attack. Got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Tumbling kick out of defence. Close trying to trap the footy. Went off the deck. Back into the corridor though. Witts got it off to Swallow. Good smother there from Dangerfield. Picked up by Cameron now. Gnaws the handball to Dangerfield, sends that into attack, looking for Delhouse, but a good one-on-one footy there from Rory Thompson. You can hear the crowd applause for him. Ballard overcooked the kick, and coming through now is Guthrie.
well done, Guthrie.
Clever handball to Close. Close is sweated upon, picked up by Miller off to Fiorini.
On the man, Gold Coast. Advantage.
Advantage taken. Atkins to the outer side. McPherson leads in the race against the other Atkins, the Geelong variety. Fiorini not in a huge hurry to get out there and help Darcy McPherson. He's been hatched upon, and we're going to have a ball up outer side of Metricon Stadium. It's a 22-point lead, and we'll keep an eye as we see Brandon Ellis just hobbling. I don't know if it's a bit of cramp. He looks okay. We'll get down to B shortly. Belinda Mellon on the boundary. Brandon Ellis, while we've got you, B, is he all right?
They've just handed him the gherkin juice and he has sculled that, so I would think it was either he's pregnant or he's having cramps.
Boy,
Gherkin juice. Yuck.
so Ellis is off. He looked pretty sore as well. He was walking like a scarecrow. They don't walk. I'm trying to think of a robot. The Tin Man. Here we go. Here is a Cameron. Squares that back looking for Holmes, and he just waited for that to float over the top of Lemons and takes the mark. He's put on almost 10 kilos in the pre-season as Max Holmes. Certainly played a lot of footy last year and put on some strength to become more of a clearance machine. And he's one of their young players who will see more time in the middle this year.
Don't try and cover up with stats the fact you said he's walking like a scarecrow. Yeah. Mate. Don't try and cover up.
I've never seen a scarecrow walk. I really couldn't think of anything. It was the first thing that came to my mind.
Have you seen The Wizard of Oz? Just saying.
It's true, if I only had a brain. Gents, here is Max Holmes, who converts and gets one against the flow. And that's their third goal of the term after the Suns had slammed on 6. Gold Coast 9, 13-67. The Cats are 8-3-51. With a minute and a half remaining in this third quarter.
An important one for the Cats just to keep in touch before three-quarter time. They haven't looked the side they were in the second term during this third quarter. They've just dropped off the pace a little bit, and look, they might be starting to manage some players right now. I think that's the case for both teams, but you just want to walk away with some positives after a community series game. I think both parties will do that already. And they'll throw a few things around in this final quarter as well.
For McDonald's, score enough to feed the whole team. Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack.
And ask for 10 sauces at least.
10 sauces. You got to guess the nugget ratio right as Took Miller throws in a torp. Slid off the side of his boot. Holmes tries to beat it to the boundary. Boundary wins out. We'll have a boundary throw in. A 16-point lead to the Gold Coast Suns, who trailed at half-time by 3 points. Now they lead at 67-51 with a minute 15 left in the third term.
Witts and Miller could just be the most potent duo in the competition if they get their act together this season. Fair call?
Well, I mean, you're talking about all-Australian Took Miller, and I think Jared Witts is the biggest ruckman in the competition, the tallest player, unless Mason Cox has got him.
Let's check that one as the Cats trying to come out of defence. They've kicked it across their goal line. Atkins has some work to do here on Ainsworth. And Ainsworth managed to keep it in. Did he? No, that goes out of bounds right where the 50 meets the boundary line. Is Witsy the tallest ruckman in the AFL? I'm trying to think who Sandler's not playing anymore. Come back to that.
He's in 1942.
He and Mason Cox. Back when the last Ned was playing. Here's Witts and Stanley. As Dangerfield had an arm held by Rankin. They'll take the advantage. Guthrie now up towards the wing. Cameron waiting for the ball to come to the deck, and it does off the hands of the pack. Just shins that forward. Lemons. Cameron will be right there once he picks up the footy. Sean Lemons goes, taps it toward the boundary. Cameron looks back at the umpire looking for deliberate or insufficient intent, as they call it, and he gets it. And right in the area that he likes it here, Cameron, where he can swing this around, although he's a long way out from goal.
Spider Burton still playing?
Peter Everett.
When you talk about duos, though, Max Gawn and Clayton Oliver might have something to say.
Fair call. Good point.
15 going.
So, how does Jeremy Cameron negotiate this? Walking in from the fence, 50 out from goal. Will he run around? No, he's going to go to the standard drop punt, and that is drifting across the face of goal, off hands and through for a rush behind. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy, 9-13-67 are the Suns, 8-4-52, and we can see Brandon Ellis just getting that cramp stretched out.
Pregnant Brandon Ellis, according to B. Belinda Mellon. I didn't realise that pickle juice, gherkin juice was useful for pregnancies, but you learn something new every day.
Betty has been pregnant for like 16 times.
Boundary throw in. Fist over the line by Isaac Rankin. Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Please, Thomas.
I don't think that he's on the stats. Isaac Rankin, how much has he seen of the footy tonight, Chan?
Not a great deal. We know he had a shot on goal, and he probably should have converted.
Get back to me.
5 touches.
And here is Matty Rao. Straight through the traffic he goes up towards Ned Moyle, over his head, and Blitzars as well. Both went to ground. De Koning got it to Guthrie. He's had plenty of footy across half-back. Measures that up the line. Stanley flying from behind of Rankin. And there is the three-quarter time siren. So a good quarter there for the Gold Coast Suns. They booted 6-3 in that turn. And they turned for home with a 15-point lead. At three-quarter time, it's Gold Coast 9-13-67, and the Cats are 8-4-52. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for McDonald's. Score enough to beat the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack.
Triple M rocks footy. Nearly 30 years after Dave Grohl recorded those first songs. Everlong. 12 Grammys, a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, and a pain in the ass global pandemic later. One of the world's biggest bands are coming back to Australia.
We'll come back anytime.
Presented by Triple M. Foo Fighters 22 Australian Tour, AAMI Park, December 4 as part of Always Live. Tickets on sale Thursday at 2 p.m. from frontiertouring.com.
Hey, what about this one?
Oh yeah, how many bedrooms is this?
Meet the Prasads.
Hello. Hi.
They've built up some equity in their home and can finally upsize.
Yeah, the market's moving so fast.
Our bank was moving so slow.
Seems it wasn't just their home they'd outgrown. So they went online and applied for a Macquarie Bank home loan. They reward good borrowers with fast turnaround times.
Plus great rates, low fees.
We got it.
We got it?
For turnaround times that move as fast as the market, search Macquarie Home Loans or call your broker and say,
I bank with Macquarie.
Lending criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
Some say the happiest they've ever been was on their wedding day, or when their child was born. But they've never won this. Because this is the holy grail of fantasy footy, and it means everything. That's right, along with 50 grand cash, you can win the first ever one-of-a-kind Holy Grail Chalice of KFC Supercoach AFL. Your pool room will never be the same, and neither will you. Play now at supercoach.com.au. Conditions apply.
What's for dinner? Coles have over 100 easy recipes for you to try. All made with 5 ingredients in 30 minutes or less. Head to coles.com.au right now to find out what's for dinner. That's value the Australian way at Coles.
If you run a local business, we radio listeners would like a word.
A word about your garden centre sale.
A word about your new online store.
A word about your famous meat pies.
Because you've got the things we want.
But unless you advertise it, we won't know about it.
So get on the radio. Then it'll be your store we go to.
Your website we visit.
And your name we remember.
Come on.
We're all ears.
Advertise on radio and watch your business grow. For help with radio advertising, visit radioalive.com.au.
Fill up with 30 litres or more of Shell fuels and you'll win a prize. Grab your receipt, enter your details at shell.com.au/winning and a prize is yours. Instantly, only at Shell. Till March 30. Everyone wins. T's and C's apply.
Buy a new Toyota and it comes with a feature like no other car. It's called the Toyota Value Advantage. That means you get a minimum 5 years warranty with an extra 2 on the engine, so you can relax knowing you're covered. See your local Toyota dealer or search Toyota Value. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota. Toyota Warranty Advantage extended engine coverage is for 7 years from delivery, provided your vehicle is properly serviced and maintained per its warranty and service book. Exclusions apply. See toyota.com.au/warranty for T's and C's.
I hereby swear lifeblood of Australia to give what I can as often as I can, because Australia needs me now more than ever. Do I promise to be a blood donor? Bloody oath I do. Right now, 1 in 2 donations are being cancelled. If you're feeling well, please donate today. Search Give Blood and book your donation with Australian Red Cross Lifeblood. Give life. Give blood.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Install the Ream.
Found their kicking boots in that third term, the Suns. They kicked 6, but the Cats still within striking distance. 15 points as the Suns lead at three-quarter time on a sapping night here at Metricon. We'll see how much legs these two teams have. The Suns injected some fresh legs in that third term. Alex Sexton came on, snagged the goal. So too did Sam Flanders. Lukosius kicked 2 in that term. He's got 3. Jeremy Cameron, the only multiple goal scorer after 3 quarters for the Cats. He has got 2. Knights 13, 67 at Gold Coast. 8-4-52 of the Cats. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Champs for the Cats they got the legs from here, do you think? Or the Suns just too many numbers and at home they get the job done?
It all depends what Chris Scott wants out of this game, I think, Tomo, to be honest. Look, he might rest a few more of his more seasoned players. Everybody wants to have a win at the end of the day, regardless of what game it is, but I reckon he will probably rest a couple of those players. The Suns need every win they can get. They need every bit of confidence and every bit of advantage, so I think they'll be able to win this game. The Cats certainly have. They've got the players out there still. Maybe Chol is out for the Gold Coast Suns for the rest of the game. I can confirm that, of course, Jed Buse as well for the Cats, but leading all comers, Tuke Miller, didn't he really come into his own in that third quarter? 26 touches, leading all comers at the moment. Anderson 23, Matty Rao 21, has had a really good solid game. David Swallow's been outstanding, 18 touches. Will Powell right from the outset, 16 touches from McPherson, 16 as well. As far as the Cats is concerned, Cam Guthrie has grown since quarter time, and his effort on ground has been terrific. 22 touches for him. Atkins on 20, Zach Guthrie 19, Isaac Smith 18, Holmes 17.
Joel Selwood also done for the evening, gents. He's standing at the back of the Cats huddle at the moment with a jacket on. So the Cats skipper doesn't seem to be anything concerning injury-wise, but perhaps just a management decision. No need to roll out your Ferraris at this stage of the AAMI Community Series, although Patrick Dangerfield is striding his way to the centre circle.
Yeah, you can put Selwood back in the garage. No Stewart, Duncan, Rowan, Menegola, Segler tonight, but certainly their prime movers, their stars who are out there have got enough minutes into the legs of Joel Selwood tonight.
Jared Witt starting on the bench as well. I'll be surprised if he gets much of a run in this quarter.
Yeah, why risk him as well?
Absolutely, so important. We've mentioned that a couple of times. So Big Ned will do the majority of the ruck work for the Suns for this quarter.
It looks like the Cats have sent out their young ruckman as well. Shannon Neal, who is yet to debut from South Freo, WA, 202 centimetres, pick 33 in the 2020 draft. Fourth quarter about to start for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Here is Liam Flanagan.
Couple of long-haired units into the ruck. Haven't played much footy. Moyles got up nice and high and won that down definitively. Anderson couldn't take it with him. Guthrie won it. Gets it to Neal. High kick around the corner from the Cats ruckman. Good spoil came from Ballard. Quick hands. Holmes. Chip and kick inside forward. 50. Thompson did really well. Great to see this man back out. Dangerfield says thank you very much. Loads up from 60.
Class. Absolute class.
Dangerfield just pouring a bit of class onto this AAMI Community Series fixture. Kicks his second, cuts the margin back to 9 points.
How often do you see that happen out of the middle of the ground? Just an absolute superstar. 55, 56 metres out when he launched that, and when you need to lift. It was really good work by Rory Thompson, mind you, just hacking that ball out of there, but he just read it well, Dangerfield, and he can kick a footy.
He's still got to be one of the most powerful runners in the competition.
Yep. And you know what? When the Cats need something to happen, he's the man. He just puts his hand up every time.
So Neal and Moyle in the ruck. Two untried ruckmen. Two ruckmen getting a run in this last quarter for both sides. Ed Moyle's got a bit of the Greg Deers about him, I reckon, champs. Triple premiership player for the Hawks.
Yes.
Dead ringer, I reckon. Good bounce from the ump. And here comes Miller out of the ruck, under pressure there from Holmes. Up towards right half forward. Higgins, good tackle from behind, not rewarded. Guthrie trying to slap away the hand there of Davies. They work it out to the pocket. And now they find Collar Jasny, who's at right half back, Flanners.
Tuke Miller, I mean, the effort this man is putting in. We'll get his Triple M Red Z lending stats in a moment. I'd be interested to know what his tackles are for the evening. As Dangerfield stuck a foot into the chest of Tuke Miller, who's bounced back up. Dangerfield still on the deck wondering what happened. Moyle and Neal go at it. We're going to have a boundary throw in. No, deliberate.
Insufficient attempt.
Insufficient attempt as the ball's kicked off the deck from 20 metres away.
Doesn't roll off the tongue as well as deliberate, does it?
I don't understand that rule at the best of times, particularly on a dewy night. Champs, Red Z lending stats, Took Miller.
7 tackles, Took Miller, and 27 touches.
As Holmes thumps it towards half forward to a contest. The two ruckmen are there. Comes out towards Stengel. He'd want to get a few touches in this fourth quarter. He's been a little bit quiet. And that was a free kick, and it will go against the Crab. Caleb Graham just getting into the back there of Jeremy Cameron, I think, Flannis.
Yes.
So Cameron will go back, take his free kick, and lining up. He's kicked 2, lining up for goal number 3.
A little bit clumsy by Graham. He just went to spoil, just got him a little high, although it was a legitimate attempt to spoil. It was 50-50, wasn't it?
Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, and the skillful Jeremy Cameron pops through his 3rd goal. So he's got 3, Lukosius have 3, and the Cats have hit back. They've cut the margin. It was 15 points at 3-quarter time, down to 3 for McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy, 67 plays 64 in this opening few minutes of this term. 4th quarter here at Metricon Stadium.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Jeremy Cameron is lucky that Caleb Graham didn't go with the knee there. That could have been really nasty.
All of a sudden back to 3 points. And Gold Coast want to get their skates on here. They won't want to let this one go. They need the confidence.
Ball back in the middle for McDonald's. And Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Ream Hot Water steady, hot and strong in Stool or Ream. Again, we see the two young ruckmen go up. Moyle has had the measure, but finally Neil gets one and feeds it down to Dangerfield. Brushes the tackle. Handballs forward to Holmes. Handball forward to Close. Chipping kick. Probably should have gone and turned around and actually thumped the footy. Holmes. He's been impressive, Holmes, in this game. Quick kick around the body. Came from Dow House. Rory Thompson. Great to see him back out there. Matty Rao steps through traffic beautifully. Play on. Graham to the outer side, and now they're in a paddock of space, the Suns.
Yeah, looking for Flanders. Under pressure there from Smith. Screws that back around. DeConing has to wait for it to bounce. Rushing up was Alex Davies to provide some pressure. Crowd wants ball. Almost held on for too long. He's almost coat-hangered there by Zach Tui. And good second effort. Good follow-up there from Alex Davies. Wins himself a free kick. The young fellow, the rangy midfielder from Cairns. Wearing the number 5.
There's not a big crowd here, but they're getting pretty vocal right now.
Because they need their Suns to lift. They led by points. It's been close to 3, but a poor kick there from Davies and sent it straight to College Asney.
So you work really hard and you get a free kick like that, you just turn it over. It really hurt you.
A little bit of a hiccup there coming from Nick Stevens, but he made up for it with plenty of time. Higgins. Have not seen much of the former Western Bulldogs star, Sean Higgins, this evening. As Guthrie, who we've seen plenty of, sends it long, but that's an easy intercept mark for Will Powell. Plays on quickly. Not his best kick. Got it to Anderson, who's brought his own footy to this game. That's not his best kick. He looks tired. Ainsworth led strongly, wanted it most, and he'll go back to kick it his second for the evening.
Triple M Red Z landing stats. Sean Higgins, 12 touches, 5 kicks, 7 handballs.
He was an interesting acquisition at the end of the 2020 season, along with Isaac Smith. You sort of saw the Cats trying to add a little bit of quality to just perhaps get them over the line for the premiership. We'll just keep an eye on Noah Anderson, who looks like he's coming to the bench. Might just be with cramp, hopefully. We'll get down to Belinda Mellon shortly. He's making his way off under his own steam. Meantime, Ainsworth crosses the 50-metre arc, kicks it his second, leant back on it, arcing, curling, goal. Ainsworth kicks his second, gives the Suns some breathing room. Margin out to 9 points, Triple M scoreboard. Let's go down to Belinda Mellon on the boundary line. B, Noah Anderson, is he all right?
More gherkin juice down on the boundary. My goodness, what's been going on in the Suns off-season? No, he is. He's in a fair bit of pain, but it is just cramp, boys.
All right, good to hear.
Well, he's done a power of running. He's had 24 disposals, Triple M Red Z lending stats, and they might miss him here in the centre. He's certainly been a consistent performer all night. Mind you, their centre bounce combo here in Fiorini, Matty Rowell and Took Miller have also been prolific. They've got Ned Moyle having a run in the ruck, Dangerfield, Narkle, and young Cooper Stevens, along with Neil in the ruck. Stanley now back in the ruck for the Cats. So they've got some experience along with the untried Cooper Stevens. Back in the middle, Suns have responded. Cats got the first two of this term. Rising high was Moyle, did well. Rao gets the clearance in front of Dangerfield. Goes over the head of Holman and Atkins, but running in a straight line. Straight through was De Koning. And here is Dangerfield. He puts the foot down, and a short pass was good to Hawkins. Releases Dangerfield again. Rao still giving chase. He lost the footy and caught the big bump there from Took Miller. And there is a free kick. Brad Closest getting into the back of Matt Rao. Great follow-up, great persistence there from Matty Rao, champs.
And that stunned Danger too. That hit from Miller got him in the side. He's sucking in the big ones at the moment.
And making his way straight to the bench saying, I don't need this. This is an AAMI Community Series game, and I reckon I've got some bruised ribs off the back of that hit from Miller. Took Miller, and there he is, sending it inside 50. Sexton, clean pick, snapping,
he's good.
bending, goaling. Sexton, touched.
Oh, wow. That's an anticlimax.
Play on.
Minor score, 10-point the margin. Tui, Dangerfield has left the field of play. And they're dropping like flies for the Cats at the moment. Just keep an eye on Cooper Stevens in the background. He was in the hands of the trainers as Dowhouse juggles a mark over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Gonna have to get a resupply of pickle juice.
Gherkin juice, isn't it?
Yeah, just having a look, Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. We're seeing an incident from earlier in the quarter where Dangerfield stuck one in Took Miller's chest, and Took Miller thought, here's my square-up opportunity.
It was open too. His ribs were open, weren't they?
Moyle tried to toe poke that forward. Higgins tackled by Fiorini. Fast hands ends up with Stanley, who handballed straight to Big Netty Moyle, who goes with a tumbling ball inside the 50, but Radagalia in defence there on Casbolt takes the mark.
He's had a very quiet night. This is only his second disposal coming up, Tomo.
Move it on.
He doesn't have a lot of options, so he'll just go up the line for Reece Stanley, who sets himself, but Thompson will come in, or Graham, I should say, will come in from the side. Beautiful handball. Miller.
Look out.
Alistair Fiorini under pressure. Had no idea that Brad Close was closing on in, but ball is still live here as Rao got it from Holman. Runs away from Higgins. Slams it towards the goal square. Off hands. Flanders just tried to slap it back in, but it was over for a rush behind. So they moved to 10-15-75, the Suns. The Cats are 10-4-64. 9.5 played in this last quarter here at Metricon.
Got an official crowd in for the night, gentlemen. Considering it is a Monday evening for an AAMI Community Series match. 2,486, rounded up to 2.5 even. So a good turnout for the Suns faithful as Dowhouse drops the sitter, should have taken it, tops the Bronx cheer. Might get Belinda Mellon to keep an eye on Dangerfield. He has left the ground since that bump. I'm sure it's just precautionary. The Brownlow champ saying, I don't need any more of this tonight. But
here comes Brandon Ellis cramping again.
Poor old Brandon Ellis is going to get a personal sponsorship deal with
that scarecrow
with a Gherkin company. Quick kick forward from Powell. The ball bounces over the boundary line. B, can you give us an update on Paddy Dangerfield?
He came off, he was doubled over, and he was sucking in the big ones, but the doctors both walked straight past him. They obviously weren't too worried at all. He is tough.
So 11 points is the Suns' lead midway through this last term. And they're up their attacking end as well. Moyle, like the look of him in the ruck in this last quarter and a bit, as Dalhouse will do well to keep that in the field of play. Graham, was he tunnelled underneath the footy? Hawkins tried to slap it forward. Goes out of bounds right near the interchange gates, and Graham gets the slap on the back there from Noah Anderson for a job well done on Big Tommy Hawkins.
No goals for Big Hawko tonight, but presented well. Always provides a contest.
Boundary throw in. Here's Moyles v Stanley. The more experienced ruckman wins out on this occasion. Anderson tackled by Dowhouse. Ball again boundary line. Just keep your eye on Brandon Ellis on the bench for the Suns. He looks like Kramer in that episode of Seinfeld where he's got the stovepipe jeans on. And he can't bend his... He's getting around on the bench at the moment, is Brandon Ellis. He's found a stationary bike. He's trying to keep the lactic acid from settling in too much as we enter 11.5 minutes played in the fourth quarter here at Metricon Stadium. Higgins, he's still got plenty of run in his legs. He goes searching inside forward 50 for the Cats. Numbers out the back. Clearing kick came from Lemons. Called touch. You heard it through the effects, Mike.
High contact.
A free kick paid.
I think.
Alex Sexton.
And Alex Sexton getting back in defence. and everyone's running away like it was a 50, but it'll come back to him. Narkle on the mark. Moyle sets himself as the tall target, calling for it to go boundary side, and he'll angle it back in. Moyle, Kolodjasny got into his back. Casbolt coming through now. Stanley as well. Trickles along the ground. Taken away by Stevens. Now Kolodjasny, close. Fast hands back to Stevens. Good smother there from Took Miller. Smothers from two of them in a row from Swallow, and now Miller getting involved. Their leaders standing up. Gold Coast with an 11-point lead. And Jared Witts just on the bench watching things. Watching Ned Moyle put in a good performance in the Rucky Champs.
Yeah, he is indeed, a young fella. Took Miller, though, take your hat off. He's just doing everything out there, isn't he? It's late in the fourth quarter, and still out there smothering footies in a community series.
Just seeing a Triple M Red Z lending stat up on the screen. 15 hit-outs to advantage for Jared Witts tonight. The next best is 3. So he has been dominant as far as moving the ball along for the Suns, as Dowhouse and Miller escorted over the boundary line for another boundary throw-in.
When they had Graham and Chris Burgess rucking for last season, you can't understate what a difference Jared Witts will make this season if he can play some consistent footy. As will Levi Casbolt, who's having a run in the ruck, and he's certainly provided a presence. Probably hasn't had a lot of possessions, but certainly he's been a beacon up forward for the Suns, who still hold that 11-point lead. 13 and a half played in this last quarter. 10-15-75, 10-4-64. As Anderson has taken the ground. Comes out towards Narkle now. Good kick up towards half forward. A little bit too tall there for Cameron. Cameron now the tackler on Lemons. Lemons trying to shrug him off. No prior opportunity. Umpire will rush in. Almost at centre half forward. Cats attacking end flanners.
Game's still up for grabs. 11 points the margin. We've got 12 minutes to play in the final term, so whoever wants it can go and take it right now. Quick hands came from Powell to Thompson. Now, he didn't see the Cat player Stevens sneak on from the boundary. So Stevens is going to send it high, top of the square. Thompson tried to go the big fist. No mark taken. Dangerfield's going to get a free kick, pushing the back.
He played it well, didn't he? He sort of ducked into it danger. He's very experienced.
We're going to ball it up.
He's going to ball it up.
We're going to ball it up. Got a different view from the umpire. I'm going to ball it up.
Oh,
interesting. Just an honest disagreement between two of the men in green, lime green this evening, so they're going to ball it up.
I wonder who gets the overruling vote there.
Who's up? Time you up?
The closest?
Who's up?
He did duck his head.
Gold Coast.
It's going to be a ball up. Don't know if I've seen that before. There's a played for the free kick there, did Stevens. He's going to get it back here. Gave it to Guthrie. Handball over the top. Paddy wants it. Then ducks inside, wants that right boot. Ends up going backwards to Smith. Terrific pressure, Suns. They fought, they scrapped, and now they've managed to gain some territory, but the Cats have got the footy.
They do. Kolodjasny got it to Guthrie. Kick under pressure. Got a little nudge in the back. No free kick. It was a good scoop there from Smith, but handball to no one. Now onto the path of Flanders. Will take the advantage. Looks towards Holman. Handball over the top to a one-on-one. Past Ainsworth and Kolodjasny. Kolodjasny goes back to the footy, but he's under pressure. Radicalair, good pick-up, but taking the ground. That is holding the ball from Bigger Sava. He got down low to pick it up, but just couldn't dispose of the footy. And a good tackle there from Ben Ainsworth will line up for goal.
Gee, I reckon it'd be frustrating as a coach when your players play on the advantage rule and it's not advantage.
Touch a line.
I reckon it'd be the biggest bugbear. Happens a lot, especially with shots on goal.
15 gone.
So Ben Ainsworth has kicked 2 in this game. Played just the 11 games last year, kicked 8-13. Found it hard to break into the team, so big year for him. He was another high draft pick at the Gold Coast Suns.
Why didn't he get proper tune?
From inside the 50 now, it's on its way. That looks pretty good. Looks really good. Third goal there for Ben Ainsworth. And the Gold Coast Suns kick away for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The Suns 11-15-81. The Cats at 10-4-64. 16 and a half gone in this fourth term. Champs.
Should almost be enough for the Suns now, although still gettable. We saw the Cats pour on 7 goals that second and third term. But with a couple of their players just starting to feel the heat now, you would think that the Suns, with a bit of confidence,
10 minutes to go.
Potentially, there's no flags. It's hard to see whether there's any breeze at all favouring that end. It normally does. But Jared Witts
Go,
is
guys. Jump out,
like
goal
he's having
square,
a rest for the majority of the rest of this quarter. But the defence has held up really
Guys,
well
come
too.
on. Ready to go,
I like
ready
the
to
way
go.
they've gone about it. Roy Thompson seems to be just finding his feet now, reading the footy well. He's got a good couple of spoils in.
We'll get those inside 50s off you in a moment, Triple M Red Z lending stats, because that's where the Suns have dominated tonight. They're ahead on the scoreboard slightly as Rankin chases Guthrie, can't get to him. Guthrie sends a kick inside forward 50. Nice hands by Cameron, couldn't complete the mark though. Inside forward 50, the Cats don't want to give this one up. Again, the pressure, Rory Thompson. He got to Jeremy Cameron. The Suns now clear and kick. We'll keep an eye on it because it looks like Charlie Ballard's down in back play as Holman does what he does best. Ripping tackle. Atkins to Rao. Rao goes corridor. Finds Rankin. He continued his run. Lakshade's good kick. Finds Ainsworth. He'll go back and kick at his forward.
Plus 23 inside 50s for the Gold Coast Suns, Flanners.
I think there's a real concern for Charlie Ballard in back play.
63 to 40. He is still down. 10 to 2. What can you say?
Actually, I'm not even sure it's Charlie Ballard. It might be Noah Anderson.
Yeah, I think it. Well, they're stretching out the foot there like it could be maybe a calf. No.
Ainsworth's on his way in. He started his run up kicking at his fourth. He's really struggling to get up. So if it is cramp, they need to wheel out a Piccadilly bottle-sized thing of pickle juice for him. Ainsworth kicks his fourth. You reckon the result's just about beyond doubt for the Suns as they stretch their lead to 23 points on the Triple M scoreboard, and it is Anderson who he's up. It does look to be either a shocking case of cramp
or a left ankle or something.
Or a left ankle, because he's making his way off under his own steam, but he's definitely got the hobble up. We'll have to look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen for the incident.
Hopefully it's just a stinger.
Going to retract your 15.
He did come off once in his term already for cramp, so fingers crossed that's all it is.
Let's get down to Belinda Mellon. B, what can you tell us, Noah Anderson?
He's having a good old giggle as he comes off, and his teammates are giving him the Bronx cheer, and he is just sculling a bottle of the now infamous pickle juice. So I think he is okay.
He's had a big night. A lot of running, had plenty of the footy. Triple M
Pickle Juice has had the biggest night.
Yeah. They've had as many mentions as he's had touches, 25 for a Triple M Red Z lending. Back in the middle, and the Suns with, you'd have to say, a match-winning 23-point lead at this stage of the game. Here is Narkle over the top. Adkins, a tap to Dangerfield who got it back to him, and Adkins squeezes a kick up towards right half forward. Close, big fist came from Neil from behind. Sends that out of bounds, 50 out from the Cats' goal. So we've got 8 minutes to go in this game, Flanners.
Levi, Shannon.
Official crowd for the evening, 2,486. Official moth count for the evening is now just nudging 3,500. They are everywhere at the moment.
And they're as big as your head. They're massive. Not that you're, I'm just saying, for a moth, they're big.
I got it. Yeah. Thanks, champ. Ball inside, Cats forward 50. Spills out the back. Going down awkwardly there was Power. Oh, Champs has caught a moth and shoved it in my face. There's no catering provided, so there's some protein on offer. Ball sits out of sight of Metricon Stadium. Rankin, time to dance, assess his options, leans back on the kick. Well, everything Isaac Rankin does is somewhat casual, and I reckon Stuart Jew might want to have a word because he's turned the footy over.
And here is Adkins, got it to Stanley, now to Radagalier playing in defence in this term. Handball out towards Tui, no one running toward him, so he has to go back the other way to the fat side of the ground and finds a target finally in Zach Guthrie. Angle ball into Holmes, knew he was under pressure. As you heard there, Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. Fisted that on towards Kolajasny. A long switch of play in the space. It's a really good kick. Delhouse all on his own. He's got Higgins sweeping past for the handball. Normally a great disposer inside the 50. No exception. Sliding and taking the mark is big Tom Hawkins.
Levi Casbolt also limping off the ground. Has also got cramp. So it's one of those nights, and we know they'll be losing a lot of juice tonight. It's very muggy, very sweaty.
15 gone.
They need to kick the fluids up. So Big Hawkeye hasn't got a goal yet tonight, so this is his ideal opportunity, 40 out.
Four-time All-Australian, including last year. 62 goals, 37 last year for the Big Tomahawk. He starts that right, and it is snuck through from behind. Swung back late, but through for a behind as we tick down in this last quarter. 12-15-87 the Suns, 10-5-65 the Cats.
Champs, we're seeing Sava Radicalea go to the bench. How does the Cats, this Geelong outfit, use the Sava? We know we've got Hawkins and Cameron inside forward 50 and the ruck stocks with Stanley. Where is the Sava fit in this team?
Move it on.
Yeah, look, just the 3 touches tonight, 1 kick, 2 handballs. I reckon across half forward is his go, and that's where he's played tonight. He just hasn't had much of an influence on the stat sheet.
Ball spills to the Cats inside forward 50, close handball to Tomahawk. Knew there was someone in the goal square, so did the Suns though, and they got there to cover, and they're going to stream through the centre of Metricon.
And here is McPherson, allows the traffic to go past him, waiting for spreaders out wide, finds one in Miller. Where does he go next? Good ball in towards Lockie Weller, releasing handball over the top for Matt Rowell, just runs out to his left to get some space, run away from the defender. Good kick in towards, then Moyle, the big fella, just slipped out of his big hands, and they might have won themselves a free kick here, the Suns, and it will go to Alex Davies, who is 50 out from goal. He kicked a booming kick on the quarter-time siren against Port Adelaide in their practice match from this sort of distance.
Jeremy.
So he's got the journey, Alex Davies.
A cicada has made its way into our effects, Mike, if people are wondering what the buzzing is.
It's prehistoric in size. It's like something out of Jurassic Park. Here is Alex Davies, Suns Academy graduate from Cairns, wandered off the mark, got a little bit too close to the man on the mark, drifting toward the point post, and it will go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in in that right forward pocket.
I don't know if the Triple M techs are prepared for this eventuality.
That's not annoying at all, is it?
Ned, thank you. Hold that meter.
Hopefully it'll fly away soon.
Boundary throw-in inside the Suns forward 50. No, it's just a big fan of the Triple M coverage. Miller bending, snapping to the goal square. Brilliant bit of shepherding work coming there from Isaac Rankin.
All clear.
Tuke Miller has a goal.
You're both engaged, so he hasn't come off his line.
And they get around him,
so he's just engaged.
The skipper, the co-skipper, he's got his second, Tuke Miller. We are still being bothered by that pesky cicada that's managed to get its way into our effects.
So when he comes off his line, so you're both already engaged.
We're trying everything. Spotlights,
so that's how
Mortine,
pickle juice.
Maybe
the one on the flank.
It's fixed just about everything else tonight, Tomo. There is a 28-point lead in favour of the Gold Coast Suns. They are going to win this AAMI Community Series fixture at Metricon Stadium against the Cats.
Gold Coast coming down your own glory.
In fact, only 18-point margin. Gold Coast 13-15-93, the Cats 10-5-65, 4.5 to play, final 2.
Here we go.
Matt Rowell comes off for a rest, so 2 impressive wins against finals opposition, preliminary finalists from last year. Port Adelaide in their practice match, and now the Cats as well, and that's all they can do in the pre-season is sell a bit of hope. Here's a free kick out of the ruck to big Ned Moyle. Wants to play on, draw a defender toward him to get the handball to Fiorini, fans it out wide, and Charlie Ballard, what's he doing forward? The key defender has drifted into attack and takes that mark 50 out from goal. I think he was actually, he was drafted as a wingman and played forward as a junior player. And he can certainly rack up marks in defence as an interceptor. And he's
15.
Combined as a formidable duo down back with Sam Collins. To join the party, add a bit of icing to the Gold Coast cake tonight. On the run. No, he's going to tee that up. Unselfish, like a defender would. Fist came from Nick Stevens. Ball still live. Drifting out towards the 50. Good handball, Ainsworth. Miller was good. Sexton, eyes light up. And again, his shot on goal is touched. So that will be a boundary throw-in in that right forward pocket with just under 4 minutes remaining. It's 93 plays 65. 28 points the Suns lead here, Flanners, deep in this fourth quarter.
Champs, 3.5 to play. Tuke Miller's Red Z lending stats, please.
Unbelievable. 32 touches, 17 kicks, 15 handballs. Just the 2 marks, but just picking up so many. And 2 goals as well.
And still running on top of the ground out there is Tuke Miller.
Yeah.
Coming off an All-Australian season. The Cats have the footy now. Evans in some space. Orange boots draw the attention. Jeremy Cameron's got 3 to contend with. How's Evans going to think his way through this? He just long to the pocket. Cameron front spot. Thompson. Nice fish down defensively. Narkle dances one way, then the other, then hands it off to Stengel. Stengel snapping around the body. He'd love one late, and he's missed the works out of bounds on the full.
At the 9, mate.
Tuke Miller did just run 150 metres, sprinted down defensively to add some pressure on. and he has just been a standout tonight. BOG for sure.
You can see why he has been elevated to the co-captaincy. Averaged 32 disposals last season, and well-deserved All-Australian blazer for him. So the Suns will kick it around half-back. Rankin coming up to this, getting some touches, was quiet in the first three quarters, up towards Ainsworth now on a long lead. He too has offered a bit across half-forward tonight. And would be some tired bodies out there. No one leading toward him. So he'll go up the line toward Levi Casbuttle. So often been the target. Ned Moyle in front of him. Out the side it comes to Atkins. Good hands there to Kolodjasny. He's been one of their best as well. To Zach Guthrie. Now Stevens ran himself into a Sun sandwich in the three of them. And coughs up the free kick, young Cooper. And it will be Lockie Weller who's just maybe a bit of a corky. So Sam Flanders, in fact, Rankin, I should say.
Rankin's cramping as well.
3 more metres,
they're all
keep
cramping
coming.
now as Flanders will take the free kick.
We know how to fix it. Flanders with the footy right in front of the interchange gates, or the pickle juice gates as we'll now be referring to them. Big fly, Levi couldn't come down with it. In the back, free kick it will be to Darcy McPherson. 2 minutes to play.
Thank you.
And it's an 18-point lead to the Gold Coast Suns.
Take him out.
Darcy McPherson been willing today. He's 65 from home, so he's going to drop it to the top. The fly will come from Ballard. He's loving his time up forward, Charlie Ballard. Snap around the board from Fiorini. The bounce, we'll see it through for a minor score, marking out to 19 points on the Triple M Harvey Triple M scoreboard.
Play on.
So a good win coming up for the Gold Coast Suns. They've got the Eagles away in round one. The Cats have the Bombers. As the Cats come out of defence, Tui has found Zach Guthrie, who has been prolific across half-back and normally uses it pretty well. Goes along the boundary. Hawkins, as Thompson comes across. And again, the Suns getting numbers that they have done tonight. Rankin trying to dance through two tacklers and was taken high.
Lucky.
They will take the advantage through Atkins. Now to Moyle fans the handball out wide to Fiorini on the left. Good kick into the pocket, but a nice fist coming from the bigger Kolodjasny there on Ben Ainsworth was the target in attack. Boundary throw-in with a minute and change remaining in this game.
Thank you.
The Suns with a handy 29-point lead, Flanders.
Stuart Drew would be pleased with the way his boys fought out the half after trailing at half-time.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they were on top in the first term, but just went away from a few, I guess, rules that they would have had in that second and a little bit in the third term, but it's been all them since. And, he'd be very pleased.
Lemons jumped out of the ground to take the chest mark. Inside the final minute of this one, as Lemons drops the kick. Cats have numbers back. Big pack forms. Oh, waltzing over the back. Oh, it's been touched off the boot. Minor score.
Just clear it out.
Makes
now.
it an even 20.
On the protected area, thank you.
As, there are some players struggling out there. Braden Fiorini looks like he can go some pickle juice right now. Ball goes straight up the Cats.
And there is Narkle. Handball just missed its target. Bumped out of it by Ballard. Oh, good handball there from Guthrie to Narkle. Goes to centre half forward. Dalhouse, he's got Hawkins just cherry picking out the back. He can run on, unselfish, handballs it off, and there is the easiest of goals to Tyson Stengel, who's had a pretty quiet night there, champs. Might get his Triple M Reds head lending stats. That's his first goal, but a lot of talk about the former Crow and Tiger coming across to the Cats.
Yeah, that's his first goal tonight. 10 touches, 8 kicks, 2 handballs.
For McDonald's, score enough to feed the whole team. Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack. You can wash that down with a pickle juice, which they don't sell there. 13-17-95, 11-5-71, with less than 20 seconds remaining in this game.
So the ball back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater Triple M Rocks footy. It's a 24-point ball game.
Just establishing it's gherkin juice, it's not pickle juice, right?
Isn't it the same thing?
No.
Belinda will have to get onto that for us.
Is it like pickle? Yeah, it's pickle.
Is it?
Yeah. Sure, there's gherkin. You could probably juice a gherkin.
I think you can juice anything. Ball back in the middle. Moyles going up against Stanley. The clock counting down. Although time enough for another ping from the Cats from Tui. Flying shot, misses to the skinny side. A minor score. We'll cut the margin back to 23 points. And that will be the final play of this one. As soon as the Cats bring it back into play, you'll hear the siren sound. We might get down to Belinda Mellon at some point to get just a full injury list. And the siren sounds at Metricon Stadium. AAMI Community Series match has been run and won by the Gold Coast Suns, 13-17-95, defeating the Cats 11-6-72.
So a nice win for the Gold Coast Suns. They beat Port in their practice match, and now the Cats in this AAMI Community Series match. And it might be only the pre-season, but they're trying to sell a bit of hope, and Stuart Dew's trying to win himself a new deal as well. Some of their quality young players all got heavily involved tonight. Champs, what did you like from Gold Coast performance tonight?
Well, I like Toot Miller. That's what I did like. He and Witts in the middle were dominant, and I think that will be the key to their success this year if they're to improve on last year's outing, finishing 16th. They were just really impressive the way they kept battling away. I mean, the Cats hit the lead in the second term, and all of a sudden I thought, gee, the Cats have got a bit of a roll on here. They had some momentum, and their experience was probably going to show, and they fought back really well. So I think Stewie's very happy with the way that they fought back after getting behind on the scoreboard. Toot Miller's getting chatted to at the moment by Fox Sports, and he was absolutely outstanding. Rory Thompson, good for him to have a run. He did look a little bit rusty at times, just misjudging the footy, etc. But having him back, Witts back, is just a massive bonus for them. So overall, a really good effort by the Gold Coast Suns. They'd be happy with the win tonight.
And for the Cats, what do they take out of this performance?
Solid performance. Good to get a hit out, especially difficult conditions. Flying up here, they had lightning in the plane to contend with first and foremost, right? Look, they'd be happy with the hit out. Some improvement. Radicalia could do with a few more touches tonight, but maybe it was just an off game for him. Difficult conditions. It was hot and muggy and slippery and sweaty and all that sort of stuff. So they'd be happy with the hit out. Cameron was very good. I mean, his shots on goal, he's just going to be a standout for them. Hawkins was solid up forward as well. Reece Stanley was good in the ruck. Tui was very good in the back line. So no, they'd be happy with the hit out. Win or loss, doesn't really matter. Good game all round. I think if I was going to give a 3, 2 and 1, I mean, Miller would have been a standout. Probably Pickle Juice probably get 1 or 2 votes.
And Noah Anderson was prolific as well. The other thing you want to get out of tonight is 0 injuries. There was a bit going on the bench. As we mentioned, the humidity quite high at Metricon Stadium tonight. Belinda Mellon, B, give us a final wrap of the injuries tonight on the bench.
Well, if walking like a scarecrow counts as an injury, then there's about half a dozen players out there right now who we won't see next week. But hopefully the pickle juice will do the trick. Anderson, though, we thought that was just cramp. He does have ice on that calf, but looks pretty happy. So hopefully that ice is precautionary. Hughes out with a concussion. That's possibly the most serious one emerging from tonight. Shoulder hamstring, we know that was precautionary as well. And Joel Selwood didn't see out the game. There was no apparent injury, but possibly rattled nerves after that scary flight in, boys.
Thank you, B. Great job from you. Geelong, again, round 1. The Bombers at the MCG. Gold Coast away. They fly out west to face the Eagles in round 1. Flanners, final word from you on the Suns. Does this give you a bit more hope about what's to come for their season?
I think there's a lot of exciting signs there for the Suns. I think Toot Miller, if he can carry on his All-Australian form, it's fantastic. Great to see Matty Rowell out there after a full pre-season. Noah Anderson we spoke about, and Ben Ainsworth was super encouraging. What did he finish with? 3, 4 for the evening. Very prolific inside forward 50, and I think he wants to stake a claim to that small forward spot. We know Nick Holman's going to be there for the pressure that he provides, but Ben Ainsworth can be that Luke Bruce small forward type that really hits the scoreboard this season.
Yeah, kick 4, Lukosius kick 3, especially in that third term. He looked good as well, now playing as a key forward for the Cats. Jeremy Cameron kick 3 as well. Great job tonight, Flanners.
Nice, Tomo.
We'll hear you on the rush hour, of course, tomorrow night. Champs, well done from you as well. Triple M sent us super special comments. We will see you round 1. We got the Brisbane Lions and Port Adelaide as well. Full-time score here, it was the Suns by 23 points. 13-17-95, Geelong 11-6-72 for McDonald's and Marine Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
that quarter for Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Install Ream.
Triple M rocks footy. This is Triple M Melbourne. Weekdays from 6, the Marty Sheargold Show live.
Because I'm a little bit embarrassed.
Now at 4 p.m, Triple M's Rush Hour with JB and Billy.
You're supposed to be the brains of this.
And Triple M plays rock's greatest hits all day. And now with the cricket over, we're ready for the footy.
Wow! Superb, sublime.
Streaming on the Listener app, your smart speaker, and 105.1.
That's the gold you don't get anywhere else.
That's Triple M Melbourne.
Don't miss the Mornington Great Outdoor and 4x4 Expo starting this Thursday. A COVID-safe event. Heaps of exhibitors, caravans, campers, off-road, boats, fishing gear, special deals and more. The Great Outdoor and 4x4 Expo this Thursday to Sunday at the Mornington Racecourse.
Get ready to meet your muse with the all-new Kia Sport Medium SUV. We unleashed a new petrol turbo engine to give you progressive performance. The Kia Sportage has a boldly sculpted exterior and soft touch leather interior. SUVs, meet your muse. The all-new Kia Sportage. To find out more, visit kia.com.au or visit your nearest Kia dealer.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Tradies, at National Tiles we know how extra valuable your time is in this current building boom, so we've streamlined how quickly we can serve you. Just go online and order from thousands of National Tiles, adhesives, grouts and tools for immediate delivery or pickup. No waiting, no delays. Yes, at National Tiles our tradies are our VIPs, where we consistently strive to save you time and money every day of the year.
Tools, tools, tools! Sydney Tools! Sydney Tools back to work sale is on now! Estwing 20-ounce claw hammer now $79, save 11%! Milwaukee 18-volt fuel 10-piece combo kit just $29.9. Crazy deals on combo kits, hand tools, air compressors, laser levels, welders and much more. Makita 18-volt 3-piece combo kit now $9.99 and score a free blower. Sydney Tools, best prices guaranteed. Limited time only. Shop in store online. sydneytools.com.au.
With UniSuper, great moments are made possible. With greater performance and lower fees, UniSuper members shape brighter futures with more for their tomorrow.